Hey, what's going on, everybody? Doing a quick all-in chat. Got SigaMan 101 and Data4568 here with me. We're going to continue something that we started in the Wrecking Crew podcast yesterday, but we never got a chance to really dive into it because of time and things I had to do. Before I get the podcast started, just really quickly, quick disclaimer: the stuff that we're talking about, as you can see, Xbox 2025 is going to be we're going to be future casting on this version of the podcast that we're doing right now. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about, this is from a fandom perspective, okay? Like we used to do back in the day, right? A lot of us who have been nerds and geeks for the longest time, read the comic books, watch movies, play video games, we speculate about this kind of things. Now we have a big microphone with the internet being the way that it is. But at the end of the day, it's just back to basics. We're going to give our thoughts and opinions. We're going to give our whys and whys nots. But I just want to put out this disclaimer, dude. We're not insiders. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be an insider, right? We're not the gaming media. You guys know how I feel about them. What we are just people who love to play Xbox that are in the ecosystem, who are consumers and fans. And we're going to discuss the future of Xbox in 2025 and give our opinions. And with that being said, go ahead and start yourself out. Dea, please go first.
Hello, two men. I see you're in already. Good to see you.
Yep. Welcome to
And
man.
of course, you already know me, Dia4568, the first lady of chat, here to have a lot of fun because we're future casting for Xbox and looking into the future. And right now, it looks very bright.
All right, go ahead, Sega Man.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your brother Sega Man back with another podcast. With my brother Sega Forever, and I call her the first lady of Xbox. She is known as the first lady of chat, and that's Dea4568. We're gonna have a great discussion today. It's good to chop up some game with a lot of the Xbox family, man. I hope you guys enjoy our show today.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's good having you guys here again. Felt bad that I had to leave yesterday, but we can pick off right where we left off. Um, in fact, we'll start with you, Dea.
hmm
What are you looking at in 2025 when it comes to Xbox? Just an overall.
Um, the lineup of games, like
Yeah.
that stuff is. I'm seeing two things. On one side, I see Xbox dropping all these games, and if you are an RPG fan, you're going to be in a coma by the time this all ends. Jeez, there's so many games. Even I don't know how I'm going to play everything. I'm probably not going to be able to. I might have to choose. I might have to pick and choose. And so Xbox is coming out blazing. And what gets me is the position that they're going to be is so strong, even though we know that the Switch is going to drop next year and that they're going to probably have a strong lineup. And I don't know what PlayStation is going to do. This is where my other hand is that I think that PlayStation is in for a world of trouble because again they're getting it from Xbox, who is sucking them like a vampire, bone
Oh yeah,
dry.
oh yeah.
And literally, we just saw an article that came out recently how much money Xbox is making off of PlayStation gamers, and honestly, they're laughing to the bank. They making more than even I thought they were,
Oh
and
yeah.
so everything that they've said now is starting to come to fruition, and it's starting to prove everybody wrong. They laughed, they joked, they put Xbox down. Some people, got all emotional and became a Tim Dog 2.0 and went to the other side and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing has stopped Xbox in all this time, and now they are making so much money that I say I feel secure in the fact that the games that we want to see will be made. They're making good money on there over there. So I don't know if you guys saw that article, but maybe if you did, you can talk about it. But so that's something that I see. And with the games, I guess if I had to pick one that I'm most anticipating, let me see. I think for me it's going to be Fable. I think
Oh,
it's going to be
nice.
Fable
Yeah.
Oh
because
nice.
I've
Yeah.
waited for a very long time for another Fable game. And that game looks so good. It's hard because it was between that and South of Midnight, and I really want to see South of Midnight too. But Fable got history with me, it's
Yeah.
it's legacy. It's Xbox legacy. So I don't know. Every time I see Fable, I go back and forth between that and South of Midnight. And Avowed look good. It's a lot of games that look good. Doom looks good. All those games look good, but it's just it's so hard to pick, but for me, it's between Fable and South of Midnight, and I just say I think Fable inches out as my top game that I really want to play for 2025.
Nice, nice. Sega Man.
Yeah. Well, my game I'm looking forward to is Gears of War E-Day.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not coming out next year, is it?
No, you might be right there, but I'm hoping.
Oh, you hoping? Okay.
Yeah, I would really like to see that next year, but probably not. But I would have to say that's a game I would like to see. But if that's not come out next year, I maybe another one I would like to see is Perfect Dark.
I think that one's not next year either, right?
Oh man, maybe it's
Okay,
not.
what's the list again? Sega Forever, the games that's coming out in 2025.
I know Avowed, South of Midnight. Um,
That's one I
Doom,
would like
Doom
to
the
see.
Dark Ages.
I'd like to
Doom
see.
Dark
I
Ages.
would like to see Doom Dark Ages.
Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah,
the Outer Worlds 2. I
love
mean,
it.
if we're being honest, some of the games that they have out now, some of their biggest drops next year are going to be in 2025, and I'm talking about events, DLC, stuff like that.
Oh, that's right, because I know Indiana Jones is getting a DLC
Yeah,
next year.
yeah. In fact, we might see it next month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
is Indiana Jones getting a DLC?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice,
And
man.
that's the pattern that Xbox is going with a lot of their games, right? To keep
It
people-
won Game of the Year from IGN.
Yeah,
Which,
they love
Indiana
that
Jones?
game. Yeah, they love that game.
Yeah.
What's happening at IGN?
Now, also, Digital Foundry named it the best looking game of 2024.
Yeah.
That's the one good thing about a lot of these. That's the only one of the things you notice about a lot of these publications is a lot of older people who grew up on Indiana Jones.
Right.
Yeah. So they nailed it. Me and Sega Man was talking about that earlier. They nailed that game.
They did. I'm a fan, and I couldn't. It felt like another movie in the chapter.
Yeah.
That's the best compliment I
Yes.
can give it.
Yes. Yeah. I wrote that too on Disney's thing. I'm like, man, too bad your movies can't be this good.
You didn't do that, did you?
Yeah, I do
You
it all
did
the
that
time.
for real?
Yeah, they suck, dude.
Oh my
They-
gosh! Oh my gosh!
I am like I'm like a woman scorned death when it comes to Disney. I gave you all but my best years. I did everything for you. How dare you?
I
How dare
cannot
you
believe
betray
you
me?
said that.
You left me for the younger generation, so you will pay.
Man.
Man.
I thought you was joking. He was like, "No, I really did it."
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like speaking into the ether, right? Or to the abyss, right? I mean,
Oh,
I don't know if
man.
anybody out there reads it, and if they read it, they probably don't care because they keep on doing the same thing over and over again. Because there's people with bigger channels that are have huge followings as Disney fans, and they don't, they've attacked those guys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, who
Yeah.
am I? But still, I just can't help myself. I'll be honest with you. It just irritates me because it doesn't have to be that way. And hopefully, because Indiana Jones has been such a success, that even Disney, yeah, like we're saying, Disney's like, oh, we need more.
Well, they've already done that.
Yeah.
They've already reached out to X. Now that's something. Xbox didn't reach out to them, according to what's being reported. They've reached out to Xbox to ask to see if they'd be interested in making more Indiana Jones games.
Oh yeah, that goes to the success, right? Because one of the things nobody talks about, and we know this as nerds ourselves, is that there's a lot to be said. Hold on.
They probably would make more games. What's up, Mr. Kima? They probably would make
Yep.
more.
Oh, let me read this from Mr. Kima real quick, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
What's his name here? Hiro Totoki said in an interview that PlayStation will money hat more third-party game. Oh, is that they doubling down on the money hatting? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading. Sorry, I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Okay.
What
That was
happened?
that was a loud noise. So.
Oh yeah, that was what is it, a motorcycle or something? That's what it sounded
No,
like.
just the dude with the biggest, loudest truck that lives all the way at the top of the hill.
What? That thing's loud. That
Yeah.
sounded like that was right outside your window.
Yep, it is. Yeah, technically the road's right there.
Oh jeez.
So he said what?
He said here that I think his name is Hiroi Totoki. Hiro Totoki. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if I'm
probably
pronouncing
Hero.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Said in an interview that PlayStation will money hat more third-party games. So he said that they said in an interview that's their strategy moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, and it's always been their strategy, and they're not going to change from that. And I
So
say, I say, bring it. I say, bring it.
who's going to be stupid enough to lock their stuff to PlayStation's ecosystem when nobody's buying anything over there?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, they'll make their connections with people in Asia, most likely.
Well, if they want to sabotage their games and stuff, not all of them are going to be a Wukong and sell at that rate. That's a anomaly.
Well, that's why some of the guys I follow in Asia really are pushing. One of them is actually affiliated with Xbox. Um, are really pushing for Xbox to have more of a presence in Asia and Southeast Asia,
They
the
need
greater
to.
Asia. Yeah.
They need to. I think they're trying. They said they got a lot of games being made and developed, not just in Japan, but China and I think South Korea. So they are making those connections, but they're not going to money hat their way into oblivion. If they're expecting that from Xbox, they don't have to do that. So
I
they're
mean,
not going to do that.
it's a numbers game at that point because PlayStation also has access to a lot of Southeast Asia.
They
So
do.
like you don't have to have a big presence in one country, but if you have a big presence in multiple countries,
Hmm.
right, that's what Sony does have.
They have that, but then also Microsoft is utilizing that by putting their games inside their own ecosystem. So
Yeah.
they're getting exposed to Xbox whether they like it or not.
Once everybody starts having that moment like that PlayStation guy had in the video,
Oh yeah, yeah.
when people have that moment, then things will really start changing, and I think they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, but they
I'm
have
just
to.
saying the Asian guys, if they want to survive, they truly want to survive, they better put their games everywhere.
I noticed like in the store a lot more now. You see a lot of indie stuff coming from Asia, so I think that's a good sign. I mean, I picked
Mhm.
up a couple games. They're pretty cool. They're kind of throwbacks,
Right.
so I do like them. One of the games I got, it was super weird. It was like super weird, man. It took me back to like 80s, 85, man. When I was playing this
Oh
game,
wow. Okay.
dang, this game is way out there, right? It's that pop culture that came out of Japan, which I think is cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, once they start doing that, you know what? It'd be cool again. Well, I don't want to say that now because I don't want to derail the conversation, but it's just another. I'll write it down, and when we come to it, I'll make it. But
Okay.
so
Yeah,
Sega
yeah.
Man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, so Sega Man. What was it? Anything else you wanted to say about what you're looking forward to in 2025?
No, man. I think, like Dad said, she's looking forward to Fable. There's one game I would like to see. I don't even think they don't even talk about it anymore. I don't know where it's at. It's called Contraband. I don't
That's true. We haven't even heard from that. Yeah.
was talked about once, and that might be way on the back burner. But uh, I want to see the one that you guys mentioned with the southern chick in it. What's it?
South of
Something.
Midnight.
Yeah, that looks really good. That looks like that shows the power of the Series X. That looks really damn good.
Yeah, it hit a lot of. It checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah,
it has an art style. Right,
I
the
would
story
love
looks
to
good.
play that.
The
Sega
world
Forever.
looks very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, the gameplay looks solid. Yeah,
man, I would love to play that. That looks good.
yeah.
So unfortunately, Sega Man has to kind of wait into what 2026 maybe for like Gears. Because I
Yeah,
think that's what you really waiting on is Gears.
yeah, man. I bought the shirt. Me and Zink bought the shirt. You
Oh
know,
my God, see that? Those
Oh,
gear
what
heads.
of the of
I
the
showed you seen it Sega Forever. Didn't the E Day shirt?
yeah, that was awesome. They just don't make my size, so I can't be trying to squeeze into a 2X. That's,
You wouldn't diet for it. You just get it there. Say I'll get down to it eventually.
What's the
I wouldn't like the look, and I feel sorry for anybody in public that trying to see me in a 2X shirt, especially in Hawaii, dude.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is do you guys think it might drop next year? Because what does the big three studios have coming up? Oh, wait a minute, it's Fable next year, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
next
Fable.
year.
Yep.
But I mean, we're not going to get a new Forza. We're not going to get a new.
Yeah, that's another thing. I forgot all about
I don't think-
Forza
yeah.
6.
I think
Yeah.
Forza Horizon. Yeah, are they making another one?
They gotta be.
Yeah, they're working.
Playground is 2 studios now. I think
Yeah.
at least they're two. I know they split up. So they got a Forza team and then they got a Fable team.
The
So
only way
where's
I want to
Horizon?
see something, the only way I want to see something from Forza Horizon if they finally do Japan. They got to do Japan already. Everybody's wanting-
Everybody is saying that. Everybody is saying that. I don't know. I don't
Hey.
know why they dragging their feet on Japan. Maybe they don't like it as a.
Maybe they should do Hawaii.
Well, what
That
I
would
would
that
say,
would
what I
be
would say
fun
is
to
they
do
could do what
Hawaii.
Atari did. I forgot the name of their racing game, but they did their racing game and then they did Hawaii
Yeah.
in the series. So what they could do with Forza is they can do Japan and then they can do a DLC for Hawaii.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
And then you can do a DLC for South Korea.
Yeah.
You do a
If
DLC
it's a
for
place
China.
that doesn't have tracks or doesn't lend itself well to a whole game dedicated to it, I think you're right. A DLC could work for it, like a
Mhm.
smaller location.
Yeah, because I could see them. I know they do it every year, or like they usually do. Like we just got Forza, so Forza Horizon should be next.
Yeah, we got Forza Motorsport that because they do the engines. They're the engine masters there.
Oh
They
yeah.
they work on the engines and then Playground picks up the engine and use that towards Forza Horizon. So you had to wait for Motorsport to develop the engine and come out with the Motorsport game first before they
Yeah.
could even begin to do that. So now they got to be working on it. And Mr. Kima said here
Oh.
they've opened a brand new studio. They now have 3 studios. You talking about
Playground games?
Playground? You talking about Playground? They got 3?
Damn.
I didn't
Well,
know that.
a lot of Xbox's studios are splintering into different smaller studios.
That's a lot for Playground. So that's 3. See, how many? You know what? I wonder how many studios they got because they've been adding. Like for all the doom and gloom people been doing, their studios have been just kind of breaking off and making other studios and stuff. Like we don't even know like if Halo Studios have done something like that. We don't know because they plan on making multiple games. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maverick Studios. What's that?
Is that their new one?
See, Tillman's on it.
There, 2 men. Can you elaborate on that? I'd like to know. Maverick Studios. I don't think I've heard of that.
Man, what if they brought back Lionhead Studios?
Oh, Mr. Kima said yes, they have 3 studios. I did not know that Playground went into 3. So what is the third one working on then?
Well, you got them working on Fable. You got them working on Forza.
Are they a support studio? Because I know one of them is working on Forza and another one is dedicated to Fable. I know that for certain. Because people was concerned about Forza. Like when is Forza coming out? And that's when you find out that they were split up, right? But I guess maybe you're right. Maybe the third one could be a support studio. I did not know they had 3.
Dude, they could do what Activision does with their Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah,
Multiple studios working on stuff. They can.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the ecosystem. As far as the studios are concerned, they can all build off of each other.
That's
which is what
true.
we're doing
That's
right
true.
now.
Yeah.
The synergy there is amazing. So
They share a lot because, like, take Indiana Jones, for instance, that thing was built on EarTech.
yeah,
A very impressive engine, I
Yeah.
gotta say.
that's why I
Very
think
impressive.
a lot of people are looking towards that new Dune, the Dark Ages, to see.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I've
god.
been playing that new game built on the old Crytek engine. You know what game that is, right?
Rise Son of Rome.
Nope. It's a new game that came in Game Pass called Hunt Shadow Down,
Oh yeah.
1896. Yep. The
Oh.
CryEngine engine made that. That was
Oh,
their last
cool.
game, I think Hebot said they worked on.
Oh.
And it's not bad there. You have to try. It's really weird. You shoot all these weird looking creatures, half pig, half something, and has 3-4 arms. It's really weird. It's very weird. Like look like they're on a circus plantation. It's really weird.
That's weird. Yeah.
You have to try it out, brother.
I know the gimmick with that, and I don't mean gimmick in a bad way, but was that at the end, right? That you'd have to battle it out.
Yeah.
It's like you'll be with other bounty hunters, so you're kind of helping each other out in a way.
Yeah.
But then somebody takes the loot and gets the loot at the end, or something like that.
Something.
Yeah, something like that. I bought the game actually, Sega Man, but I haven't
Did you
played.
buy it?
Yeah, because the premise. That's how I am. So that's
nice.
why I'll rant on my channel about gamers, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
Right. And disclaimer: you don't have to be right, but for me, it's just like if something's interesting to me, I'll just go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, why not?
That's how we grew up, right? We didn't have that's how we grew up.
Oh,
We didn't
it's
have
called
Game
Maverick
Pass. We
Community.
didn't have the media and all that kind of stuff. I tried looking it up there. I can't find anything.
I can't either. I'm looking. I
Probably because
can't
it is
find
brand
it.
new. Yeah.
It might be a brand. I know about Elsewhere. I know about them, But I never even heard of this one. Let's see. Okay,
Never heard of
Maverick
that.
Games is a. This is from Windows Central. Maverick Games is a new AAA independent studio founded by former Playground Games staff.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, I think I remember that. Unfortunately, you have to go to Windows Central. We'll
Yeah,
let that slide. Not to check.
yeah. Ain't much I could do about that.
But what's the next article? Jez Gordon's like, Xbox is closing down.
Yeah.
I got
Oh,
it from my insiders that Xbox, even though they're a $3 trillion company, is shutting the
Right.
door.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, dude, do you guys didn't you guys learn that in basic school? They tell you to write, read, and reread what you're writing. I like how Chris Rock said that. Chris Rock said that in one of his comedy specials. He said that when you have a thought, let it ruminate in your mind for a little bit, let it swirl around in there, come out of your mouth. Oh, that's interesting that they have 3 studios. Again, this is probably one of the things I love the most about what Microsoft is doing with Xbox and their studios. Right, they're treating it as a proper part of their of Microsoft proper of
Yeah.
their company. And when
Right.
you do that, man, you'll see a lot of this diversification
Mm-hmm. Yep.
when it comes to putting out product, because they do want to dominate. And
They
I'm not
do.
saying in that I don't mean it in that Dr. Evil kind of way. I wish they were like that, but they're not.
No, I think they want to legitimately earn it, but
Yeah.
they're never going to be recognized by the media. They're never going to be recognized by the Jeff Keighley's, but they know the industry understands.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the industry know. Because see, the reason why I think you don't really have developers acting like that, because they work for everybody. They may
Yeah.
work for Microsoft for 6 years, and then they'll end up with PlayStation, and then they'll end up back at Microsoft. They may work at different studios or something like that. They've worked on both sides at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
they're smarter. They're smarter because there's a lot of networking, and Microsoft is a big tech company,
right.
right? So you can't be burning no bridges.
Right, exactly. If you ever want to work for them again, yeah. So you don't. This is why you don't see developers unless they're a dumb developer. Like you don't tend to see them getting out there acting like the media does.
Yeah.
I mean, I highly recommend against this. I saw that in the comic book industry a long time ago. These
Yeah,
people would leave, artists, they're kind of, creatives themselves, right? They're very emotional
right.
and sometimes a little bit too sensitive. But I mean, a lot of these guys would just burn bridges and then end up, 5 years later when they work up at the other company, there's only 3 at the time. So they come back to the other one. You know what I'm saying? So you don't ever want to do that, guys. Especially in tech, man. Because the thing about it is that, being software systems based, right, it's going to come back around. There's a boomerang effect in that.
Hmm.
In the small space that I occupy, I see it all the time. And I've seen people burn bridges, man, and it's hurt them.
Oh yeah, and they regretted it. You just don't do that in the industry you're trying to
Yeah.
work at, and you be flexible in too. You just never know.
Well, I saw an article talking about Gen Z struggling, right, because they can't cut it in the workforce.
Right.
They're talking about that. I was like, oh, that's an interesting premise, right? And that's
Yeah.
because, a lot of it is when you're coming into some place, you got to humble yourself.
Yep.
You have to get in there, man. You have to prove yourself. And I think it's going to be even more worse in 2025. We're going back to that attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And plus, just a little insider thing to you guys, man. Don't give people a reason to get rid of you. Okay, that's what it basically boils down to. Because a person might not even care, but if they have a reason and they have to put people on the chopping block, and they can use that as an excuse, as you can see happening in the tech industry.
Yep. Yep.
So, again, I guess that's the eye opener for them. But yeah, thanks for that, Mr. Kima, man. It's always that's why we like the chat.
We got a smart chat. We got a really smart chat.
It's smarter than me. I know that much. Well,
They
the only
informed
thing
me
we miss-
last time, but I was learning some new stuff. I was like, oh boy, thanks for our chat.
The only thing we're missing is Zinc, man. Zinc kind of pulls it all together. So.
Yeah, he does. He whips the chat into shape. He makes sure because he highly respects our chat.
Man, he'll whip us into shape. I
Yeah.
said something one time, and he was coming after me. So I try not to get on the naughty list when it comes.
Yeah, no, you don't want coal in your stocking this year,
No, I
right?
So okay, Sega man. So I'll talk about the 2024.
Yeah, that's it, brother.
So one of the things I really want to see in 2025, I think Xbox can expound on this, is definitely their presence when it comes to a lot of the shows that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it seems like they do a lot. And one of the reasons why it seems that way, guys, is because Nintendo and PlayStation really doesn't do anything. Look at what Two Man said. Okay,
You
all
know
right.
what? If he's lurking, he might end up popping up.
You know that's like the movie where you say you say Candyman in the mirror 3 times.
Yeah. That's a good
Look
one.
at that, man.
Oh, shoot.
Zink will pop up. I'm
Yeah,
telling
he
you.
will. He'll show up.
Yeah, it's like that. Like
Two man be
his
laughing
lefty.
and stuff. He'll turn around and there he will. Oh
Man.
shoot.
Shots fired, 2 Man. Thank you. I mean, maybe that's what we need to get him in here. I'll even leave this. I'll leave this up. Just for a little bit.
Oh man.
Zink's left knee probably twitching right now. Whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
I told man, we'll treat this as the
Alert,
bad
sir.
signal. We'll treat this as a bad signal. See,
That's the back signal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But for 2025 for me, and like I'm saying, I know a lot of you think that Xbox was doing a lot, which they did do some showcases, right? But one of the reasons why it shows is because like Nintendo and PlayStation really didn't do anything.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, they did their little events. You can see by the by the. I'll try and be nice today, but it's a Sunday. But you can see with all the Sony guys already, they were not happy about any of the showcases last year.
No.
There weren't even showcases. Whatever event that Sony did, these guys were not happy.
No.
I wasn't happy that they didn't bring back Fluke Guy. I love that dude. But then already they're gearing up for 2025, and a lot of these guys are complaining that, hey, Sony, please give us something. Please
Mhm.
give us something. Now, whether that's them really actually wanting to be fans of Sony's stuff or just wanting to use as kind of fodder for
They
console.
do. They want to counter Xbox because they're terrified of this upcoming developer direct. They're
Yeah.
terrified of it. So they know because the developer directs are going to really lay in. They're going to show people what 2025 is going to look like for Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's going to be half of it because I do believe they saving some of those developer directs or like those deep dives. I'm sorry, probably for the summer showcase. So they know it too. They know that Xbox has been showing up like really well, outdoing what PlayStation's best show was. In their own shows, they like Xbox has this like formula nailed down and to the point now they're just seasoned with it. And
Yeah,
so
that's
now
the thing. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
MBG was kind of begging Sony or trying to believe. It almost seemed like he had faith, like religious faith. Trying to hope that a showcase is going to happen. They know Nintendo's doing one. They're doing one for their Switch in January. Xbox is doing developer direct. So they like, hey Sony, I kind of feel like Sony's going to do something in January too. I don't think Sony's doing anything in January, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to show, but okay.
They're probably trying to get something together, right? Because they gotta
They
do some
could
kind of
be.
thing. I mean, you know what they
can.
could do? They could do a
Okay.
showcase just talking about all the people they can money at. I think that would be.
They
I mean,
could. They
yeah.
could. They could. If they got some good ones, they can kind of say, "Hey, we got this stuff coming. Yeah, we money had. They're not our first party, but yeah, we got these games that you'll be able to play for timed exclusive." Because I don't think I don't. If somebody is still making deals like that Final Fantasy VII deal, I would have to like take them into the hospital and see if their brain still is inside their skull. Because I'd be like, "What the heck?" But yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. They got what do we think they got coming up this year? Ghost of Tsushima, whatever. No, not that. It's Ghost of Yotai, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That new one, the new one with the lady in there, right? That one's coming. I think isn't that supposed to be for 2025? That was the date. So I think that's coming out. I don't know. I don't think Wolverine's coming out. That's just me. I could be wrong, but I don't
Yeah,
believe
there's all kind of rumblings going on with Wolverine. It could be and you know what? Who could be doing that? It could be Disney. Disney could be
True.
rethinking their entire strategy, especially after
True.
Indiana Jones.
True. Yeah. Yeah. And also that show Disney that Xbox may be the third platform as far as numbers or something sold or whatever, but they can do just as big business. It's really showing them what it's like to do business with Microsoft, in the gaming area. But I don't know. I all I'm saying is that January is stacking up for both Nintendo and Xbox, and MBG was kind of like wishful thinking, hoping that Sony is going to put out in January. It's going to put out a showcase, so we'll see.
Yeah, they should stop doing that because they're just gonna get everybody's hopes up.
Yep.
I mean, look, I mean, it'll benefit us. We love the tiers, but I mean, it's you know what'd be funny, Dale, is they could show Outer Worlds too.
You so
Wouldn't that be funny if
you
they
are
had, like,
evil today. You are being evil.
No, I'm not. It's the Lord's Day. I'm trying to be nice. I'm just saying. I don't even think Xbox guys would care at that point. They'll be like,
Oh
"Hey,
my
that's fine."
gosh, you was something else. Yeah, that would be something though if they
Dude, that's so sad.
show an
And DLC
Xbox
coming
game.
down. No, but these and DLC coming out for what's the pirate game we have?
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that would be funny. Money Hiding, Sea of Thieves, DLC, and Outer World gameplay.
Oh my gosh, my stomach hurt. You making me laugh so hard. Like, oh
Dude,
my
I'd
gosh.
actually do a show on that. If Unlimited doesn't do a show on that, I'd do a show on that.
Oh shoot. If they had a show like that, I'd die laughing. I really would.
You know how many Xbox guys would do live feeds? Just
Oh,
I
man.
mean, and then at the end of the day, dude, I mean, it's showing, man. Man, there's so many cracks in Sony's armor right now.
It's
I'm
so
almost
weird.
feeling sorry for him. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
But
that poor baby's beat up so bad. Ooh.
but to your point, there, I think if they show like that Yokai and some of the games that they're anticipating, even if it's not with a date or just some stuff,
Right.
Oh, okay, we got to go back to the chat. So Zink says, "Why?"
Oh
Zink
my
or Kuman says, "Zink watching Ryan McCaffrey reruns." And look at Zink. Thank you, man.
You was right. It was just like the bat signal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he showed up. Oh, Sony. Hey,
Hey, what's up, Zink, brother?
oh shoot. You guys are making me laugh too much.
Yeah, that's so funny, dude.
Oh,
Zink, welcome,
man.
brother. Welcome. We're just talking about 2025, dude. I'll just continue real quick. I
Hey,
would like-
Zink.
yeah, I would like to do more shows. I want Xbox because they can do this. We know they can. They need to take over E3 weekend and just make it an Xbox weekend. They have enough content in their own studios. They have enough partnerships with other studios all over the world, right? And they set the standard.
They
And they
do
set the
now.
pulse for what's going on in gaming right now.
Yeah.
So they can absolutely do their own E3 weekend. They can, in fact, I wish they would call it Xbox's E3 weekend. I don't know why they don't do that. They really need to.
I think because they could do that, but they've chosen to spread everything out because they have the developers direct, the partner preview, they have the idea Xbox, they have Gamescom, they have their summer showcase, they have I'm still counting. They got the Tokyo Game Show, and then they have the Game Awards. So that's 7 shows that they do every year.
Yeah, and I think they can do about 15 to 16. The reason why, to me, for E3, because it's important. We need to keep that going. And then these other guys, and granted, look, Nintendo and Sony, I know you guys sometimes not us here, but I know people forget about this. They're Japanese companies, right, at the end of the day. So their home bases are in Japan, even though Sony has a footprint all over the globe. But we can't wait on these guys to keep this stuff in vogue. Look, we had the pandemic, could understand all that stuff. Now we need to move forward. And I just want Xbox to do that. We need to establish it here.
Right.
In the US, we are the biggest market. Xbox has the most content. They're what do they call it? They're the big whale in the room, right? They have all the money. And then we have go ahead. Sorry.
If they did that, just want to put this out real quick and let you continue. They'd have to go up against Keeley because he'd see that as coming to his turf. He's very territorial, like a bulldog. So if Xbox did that, they'd be going head to head with Jeff Keighley.
Oh, that's fine. I welcome that because I can't stand Keighley. I can't stand the show. I mean, I think it's to me, it's kind of like a facade of what gaming actually is. The dude's about the marketing, the dude's about the money, and that's fine. Look, it's a business at the end of the day, but there's more to gaming than that. And the only person that's keeping gaming in flux right now is Xbox.
Yep.
I mean, with the idea at Xbox program, like I love that they do that program everywhere because there's something for everybody, and that's what I mean. They need to bring it all to a head at what we consider the mecca of gaming,
right?
Which is E3. And though I would like to keep E3 in LA just out of tradition,
I wouldn't. I wanted to kind of be everywhere, like in different locations.
Well, so if you do an E3 event, I know Microsoft is making headways in Saudi Arabia, dude. I'm been looking at Saudi Arabia the way I've been looking at China.
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia right now is trying to grow their stuff beyond the oil.
They are. They
Yeah.
are. They've been investing in a lot of other areas. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would be great if they actually went over to Saudi Arabia and did an E3. But I don't know. E3 is more American by nature, so I
Mhm.
don't know how that would go. But I mean, they need to like you could go to Vegas, right? You could do one in New York, right? And so that's what I would like to see. Dude. I think they could pull it off easily. I think they could do 3 days, especially if they're going to acquire more studios and they're going to acquire publishers, which I think.
I hope we're talking about that because I do believe something might get acquired in 2025. We can save that to after this conversation, though.
That'd be
And I'll
nice.
just wrap it up. I'll wrap it up real quick. So I want them to do E3 dominate. I want them more of a presence at the Tokyo Game Show. I like what they do there. I like that they use a lot of the local people, but they need to blow that up a little bit more.
Okay, so how? I mean, may I ask?
I want them to focus on some like they did in the US. I want them to focus on the indie guys. They do
Oh,
that
okay, okay. All
because
right.
there's stuff coming over that I see in the store, but these people are getting no they're getting no shine.
Okay, I see. I get what you're saying. Okay.
And I do more, but I'm a small channel, and then a lot of the big Xbox channels were too focused on what Sony's doing and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, we got to move on at some point, like Unlimited says. And then at the end of the day, China Joy. I want them to do China Joy, right? It's a expo over in China. That's probably one
Oh,
of the
that would be a good one to do. That could generate some good economic help over there for China because they could sure use it right now.
yeah. And I understand that you have to work with a overreaching government, with the Communist Party. That's fine. We need to establish ourselves there and show people that there's more to gaming than just the state-run organizations. Yeah,
But
Tencent.
that's Tencent's playground though. Just keep that in mind. Tencent is not going to be overshadowed there.
Yeah, so it's because Tencent is not a respecter of persons. And I don't mean that in a bad way, dude. They'll do whatever they need to do to make themselves grow, and Microsoft needs to realize that, and they need to push back. So we need to go
Right.
their yard. They're going to come into this yard.
They are,
Yeah,
but
they're
they're
in
not a
Japan.
communist country either, though. So,
Yeah. No, so I mean, they do like other companies too, man. They'll find ways around stuff,
yeah,
and I don't have a problem with it, guys. For me, it's about business at the end of the day. I'm pretty
Right.
sure. See if Zink. I hope Zink chimes in on this. See what he says. But yeah, we need to show up and say, look, we're here, even if they don't accept us. Who cares? Just have a presence there.
right.
And then to wrap it up, we need to start doing the cons.
Oh, that's a good idea. Doing the
Yeah.
cons, I agree with that.
Yeah, China Joy is a good step in that direction. It's electronic, but they do a lot of other pop culture stuff there. And then the cons, as far as us, is Comic Con, would be great for us to do as well. Because especially since Microsoft is diversifying their portfolio, if you guys notice what Microsoft is doing, they're starting to branch into entertainment.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
And they did that
Yeah.
one year with the Halo show. They did that.
they
one.
did. And that was a good first start.
That was awesome. Zachary Levi hosted it.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
mean, it's had some hiccups, but I think that, I think that Fallout has really shown them the possibilities, and I
Yeah.
think that moving forward, they're gonna probably take it a lot more serious than before.
like we were saying earlier, Dea, about how these groups are splintering off within the studios, and not in a bad way. But you have a lot of talented writers at the studios. This is one of the great things about Indiana Jones,
Hmm.
the game, right? And there's that's really good about the show you just talked about, Fallout. And my daughter absolutely loved that show.
I loved it too.
So you're gonna again diversify your studios, right? Allow them to tell these stories that they like to do. You can bring in other people. Why we haven't reached out to Amy Hennig is beyond me. I mean, maybe she doesn't want to work with Microsoft. I don't know. But I don't think she's EA anymore. That's the last place I understood she was. She's a great story writer. She's a great character creator.
Mhm.
How she's not with us right now, it just blows my
It's
mind.
shocking. Yeah, I agree with you.
And so if we start going into these directions, hopefully it'll prod Microsoft into something I want to talk about a little bit later is we're talking about purchasing, but in a grander scale in 2025. But go ahead. Yeah, that's all I'm looking at 2025 for Xbox. On top of all the great games that you guys mentioned, my game that I'm looking forward to the most, and you guys know most people know that I'm a huge Fable fan.
Fable. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight too. So everybody's kind of on my page with that. Fable
I
and
mean,
South of Midnight.
I'm looking forward to all the games, guys, but South of Midnight is definitely my pick.
That was really looking Compulsion. I bow down because everybody had doubted Compulsion. Everybody did,
Mhm.
and I see what Phil saw. See, that man got an eye for talent. He just knows, because
Because he's a gamer, I think, at the end of the day. That's
he
really
is,
helps. Yeah.
he is, yeah. And he was the one telling people, "Hey, I see something promising in Compulsion. I'm willing to buy them." That's saying something. And they was even shocked. I saw an interview that they were doing with the head of Compulsion at the time. He was like, the guy was like, "You want to buy us?" Like they were shocked, but he saw the creativity and the potential in that studio. He just knew they needed more backing.
Which tells me one thing about him there. He actually plays games.
Yeah,
Because
he
Uh-huh.
does.
I didn't know about Compulsion until I watched my daughter. She played We Happy Few,
We happy few. Yep.
and she
What,
loves that game. And oh, go ahead, second man. Sorry.
what's going on, guys, with State of Decay?
Uh,
What's that?
State of Decay has gone through. I can go through what's been going on with them, but I
Yeah,
think
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
State of Decay at first had to have some management done. Okay,
Oh,
people
okay.
act like Xbox doesn't manage the studios. They do. They had some issues with some of the leaders in there, and they had to clean house. Then
Oh,
once they did that, and they got the studio on better founding, then they started expanding the studio by getting them some animation studio or something like that. That's when you heard stuff like that coming from um it wasn't just I know the Ninja Theory had got the mocap, but I think it was State of Decay, the Undead Labs, that received like a animation studio or some type of studio to help assist them. And
okay.
I think they did a little bit of hiring, and then what they did was they said, okay, we're going to use State of Decay 2 to kind of flesh out a lot of the ideas that we have for State of Decay 3. You got to understand, there was a small team, and they've never worked on the
Yeah,
scale that they're trying to
Yeah.
bring this game to, right? It's a much larger ambition. So
yeah.
they just now stopped supporting State of Decay 2, like maybe, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago.
Oh,
um
okay.
they completely stopped now because they've gotten all the information that they needed. They got a lot of feedback from the fans and stuff that still play State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
And now they moved everybody over to State of Decay 3 because they had a small team working on that, kind of getting the assets and things like that ready and doing that stuff, putting it together like that trailer and stuff that we saw. But they were still fleshing out the different like mechanics and the way they wanted things to work. So now they're full blown working on State of Decay 3. I don't know when they're going to release. They don't want to commit yet, but so far they've been working on that for a little bit, and they have been working on it longer than you think because they did portion off their team to work
Mhm.
on that while they continue with State of Decay 2. But now, like I said, State of Decay 2 is no longer being supported. It had its last update maybe 4 months ago or something like that, and now they're 100% behind State of Decay 3. And so I think now the progress is going to be moving a lot quicker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But they
Hey, and
needed that time though, sort of like how Halo Studios needed the time to see if Unreal Engine 5 would work for them with Halo. They needed the time, and so they're past that stage now.
Yeah.
and
That's
Dea, remember when we had the last podcast with Brother Unlimited? I couldn't remember the lady's name I was talking about. I used
Um,
to like the one game. You wanted to see a part two of it, the with the girl and the little dog,
girl,
robot dog. I
oh
actually
yeah.
have it
Recore.
physical.
Recore.
Yeah, that
oh,
was
Recore, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was Shannon Loftus. Whatever happened to Shannon Loftus? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, she just. I think no, that wasn't her. I want to say she was in an interview, but that was somebody else.
What happened to Sega Forever to her?
I believe she retired.
Oh, Shannon Loftus retired? Okay.
A lot of them have that older crew of Microsoft. That's why it's so funny. You watch Power On, you see them when they're younger,
Yeah.
and what they gave to the company. So when Xbox One kicked off, dude, I'm a believer in that, guys. Myself personally, if you put the time in,
Yeah.
yeah, David, thank you. Stelma, she retired.
Oh, hi, David Stelmick. Thank you for
Hey,
joining us.
David.
And he says they retired. Okay.
Yeah,
Wasn't she? Didn't she help make that game though? Recore?
I don't know if she. I think she might have produced it. Help with produce.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
I could be
That
wrong.
wasn't that wasn't a bad game. You know, that was a sleeper hit. Sega Forever. A lot of people didn't really get into it, man.
I'm bittersweet on I'm bittersweet on that game because it opened my eyes to.
Huh?
I'm bittersweet on that game because the game was awesome.
Yeah.
And it opened my eyes to a lot of people who were clamoring for things but never follow through on the actual
Never
purchase.
follow through. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so my eyes were open, and then
She wanted that game to come back too. The other game, remember, we used to play on the old Xbox called Phantom Dust.
yeah.
Remember that?
So let me read what David says. David says most of the Xbox core old guard is gone. Yeah, David, I was just saying that, and then that's why I love watching Power On all and over and over again, because you see them, and then you realize the contribution they made to Xbox.
Yeah,
I think that's something that we shouldn't forget.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Shizno
Yeah.
Elite said he loved Recore.
Recore is awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely love Recore. Yeah, he did. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, David says she did not.
She didn't.
So maybe she was just talking about it lovingly,
Oh.
which is what I miss about the old crew, man. They had an affinity for games.
Yeah, they did.
These corporations do not have.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
And thanks for being here, David.
Yeah.
Shinzo-
Hi, Shishno.
Yeah, he should know.
What's up, Zink? Brother
Hi,
Zink. in the house?
Zink.
Shinzo
Yeah,
says
man.
I absolutely love Recore. Yeah, it's got everything. It has a great story. I love the pacing of the story. Love the overall story.
Mhm.
Love the world that it takes place in, and then it has one of the most important things that makes that game awesome is its platforming is out of this world, and its level design is amazing. And again, for all the people that was complaining back then, we need a Metrovania type game. Well, here you go, in an open world. So, David says she is responsible for bringing devs to get the cash from Microsoft to do the game. Yeah, that's a big job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is an important one.
Yeah.
That's pretty big, especially back
Yeah.
then. Especially back then with the Xbox, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because remember Sega Forever and Dea? I think at one time somebody said something to her and she got in trouble. I think she called some girl a bitch or something. Somebody said something and she said something back, but it was, I don't know if it was, she was mad. The girl made her mad. That made Shannon mad. I think she called her a bitch or she said something. I think Zink would know. So, because it like got out in the gaming streets that somebody was arguing with her or something like that, and she called them out of their name, and then it like went viral and shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I forgot what it was though. I forgot what it was what it was about. But she got mad and she, snapped
Lost
out
her
on somebody.
temper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's old school, man.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. She don't take no. If you look at her, I mean, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't get smart with her. She's like she'll beat your ass.
You know what it is? Because the way they came up, what's her name from 343 talked about it. I'm drawing a blank on her name. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Bonnie Ross.
Yeah, Bonnie Ross.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And again, we referenced the Power On documentary. She was talking about how Microsoft was back in the day. And she was like, all these alphas and stuff like that. So you have to earn your place. You have to earn your place, man. And a lot of it had to do with, especially when it's the company trying to grow and they're trying to do something new.
Right.
You have to have thick skin. I'm sorry, that's just the way it was.
Yep.
Recore is a great game. Never found an audience. Yeah, because people, we were in the hunt of the fall of the Xbox One, quote unquote. Fall, in 2013, David, and that's unfortunate, man. A lot of games suffered. A lot of studios suffered because of that.
Yep, it did. And Recore was a great game. It was better than anything Sony had going on back then. One of the games.
Man, but I tell you what it did do, David. It got our boy Phil Spencer up to speed real quick. Because people was telling him a lot of stuff, but their actions didn't match their words.
That's true. Yeah.
And he learned that real quick. And that's why you have Call of Duty.
Exactly. You cannot listen to these people. I play this if you make it. No, you just do what you have to do. And then if you got money left over to do those things, then you make it.
Yeah. That's why I always say, man, just make them bend the knee. That's why Satya can come on, can be just doing a random interview and be like, oh, we have $21 billion IPs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like jaw hits the floor, except for us guys, because we know what they're doing. Again, we're not insiders, right? But because look, we actually play the games. we actually have to buy our games, right? So we know, right?
You're right.
I just I just invested in another 3 months of Game Pass, so I'm good until
That's good.
2025 of
I'm
June.
trying to look for an opportunity to do that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things interesting about Recore.
Recore. Yeah. I think he'll continue later on. Shinzo says Recore was kind of buggy at launch, but it's perfect now. It deserves so much better. Yeah, Shinzo. I mean, we can. There's a whole list. Rise Son of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole list. If Heba was there, he'd be going down that list right now.
Oh man, yeah. He'll go through the history, everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Heba will be on it.
Rise Son of Rome was a great game.
And again, like I tell you guys all the time, for me personally, man, when I was playing these games and people telling me it sucked, I actually sat there and thought to myself, man, is it me? Am I old? Because I think these games are actually good. And then I realized
it was clouded by the Xbox One gen, and although I believe the Xbox One had a lot going for it, everything, even the games, I'm glad that gen is behind Xbox because they get a fresh start. And now people are there, whether they like it or not, they're being forced to see what Xbox can do, even with the quality of games that they're coming out with. I think next year is really going to showcase it.
Yeah, and I'm glad Microsoft has $3 trillion.
Yeah.
I know on social media some of you guys call me a hoe. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care because you would not have, none of this would be possible without that money.
It's true. That's true.
Trust us, we're Sega guys. With my gamer tag Sega forever. I know. We experienced that one time in gaming, and I ain't going to go through that again. Especially when the non-superior, quote unquote, industry leader. As like Zig says. Oh wait, let me see. Shinzo says Xbox had a ton of great games last gen that didn't get credit that they deserve. I read that right.
Yep.
Other Zinc says a Power On Xbox documentary is amazing. I watch it about twice a month.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Won't we Sega Forever? I watched that again last night, Zinc. I watched it again.
Yeah, I'm night. Especially when news is bad.
Yeah.
Especially when Microsoft is going to fold. Then I just turn on my Power On Xbox documentary.
They're going to die for the next 100th time because like every 2 weeks Xbox is dead, right? You get an Xbox dead video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time Dreamcast guy. So it's Dreamcast guy's fault. Every time Dreamcast guy comes over.
He does it every time. Like it's like if it gets too dry, he'll come out with another Xbox is dead video.
Every time I'll comment on stuff. Sometimes I'm like, he needs to change his name. I can't stand that.
He knows nothing about Dreamcast, man. He talks nothing about Dreamcast at all. Don't know nothing about it.
I don't think he even owns one.
Probably don't.
No.
I call him Dreamcast lies.
Yes. So I'll shoot down. I'll shoot down his commentary.
Okay.
And then, you guys can comment. Yeah, and then we'll get back to
the subject.
I'll just go through all of them at one time.
Okay.
David Stelmack says has a very rare steelbook for Recore in collector's edition. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
I didn't know that at all.
A steelbook, very very nice.
And the second is the definitive edition of Recore's physical is very rare, and the physical disc has all of the.
Wow.
Oh,
Second
really?
man, do you have that? I'm just curious. Do you have what he just described here, like a steelbook for Recore?
I don't have the steelbook for Recore. No, I don't. But I believe I have the physical. I don't have the steelbook. No.
That's some hardcore collecting there. That's going above and beyond.
I have a lot of steelbooks there, but nope, I don't have the Recore one.
Wow. Okay.
He says Bonnie Ross, don't care for her. Okay. Then he says a lot of the Halo decisions are at her feet, and her responsible for pro launches and bad launch of Halo 5. I think because she's kind of has an old school mentality, and I'm not gonna lie, David. I mean, I actually like Halo 4 and Halo 5. I like what they did with the story and the direction they were going. The only problem I had with Halo is they tried to take on games like Fortnite and stuff like that, and they were not prepared. And they should have been. That's my only fault I have with it. And you guys can you guys can comment if you want to.
Oh, yeah, and Sega Forever. Is there going to be another Halo?
Yeah. It's going to be several.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch.
It's going to be a lot. Yeah, they're working on multiple games.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Dale did a reaction video, right? There, remember?
We did. Yeah, I was so excited.
Yeah, the guy that they have in charge now, he's got his finger on the pulse.
I like him. He knows how. He always came in, and the way he handled MCC, I had great respect for him. That was one of my best experiences. When I got MCC as a gift. That's what got me into Halo. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's what got me into Halo, and that I didn't experience the difficulties of that launch. I just saw what it was when he was in charge of it, and it was fantastic. That's
What is your guys' my favorite? I'll tell you my favorite first, and I'll ask you and Sega Forever. My favorite Halo game, guys, is Halo 2. That's
what I was gonna say. Halo 2.
My favorite was Halo 2. That was a beautiful. I mean, even back in the olden days, on the OG Xbox, that game was beautiful, dude. That game was beautiful, Halo 2. And then when they did the Master Chief Collection, and I think Zinc and them can contest to this, and they did the up-res with those graphics 4K,
Yeah.
that game was fucking beautiful. I mean, they did a fantastic job. That's why the Gids is so high on the Master Chief Collection, because I mean they really outdone themselves, guys, with those games. I mean, it was phenomenal. I couldn't believe the way they did those games, man. Halo 2 was my absolute favorite because I liked it playing with, like, I liked to see the Arbiter story.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And I would say in agreement to David, I know this is skipping, but he said Reach. Reach is, oh my gosh, I love that game. Halo Reach, I love that game. I really enjoyed that game for the emotional feels and the storytelling. It was so good.
What Zinc say? His is what? Halo what?
Here's a CE.
Yeah.
CE.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's Halo 2, and for a multitude of reasons that go beyond just the game. It was the time.
Yeah.
And from the release to the excitement to the energy.
Right.
When Master Chief was king.
Yeah.
Right? Especially the follow up with something as industry shaking as Halo.
Yeah.
Right? Wondering if they could do a sequel.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who like movies, it's like watching X-Men and then watching X-Men 2.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? It's just that they were bigger, better, faster. Again, the whole Arbiter storyline, nobody was.
Yeah, the Arbiter. That's still one, in my opinion, one of the best stories in the games. Anyway, now you talking about books and other stuff. You got a lot of great stories in there, but But yeah, that's.
But it took that for it to breathe into existence. A lot of the stuff that goes beyond the gaming.
A lot of people told me their favorite Halo game is Halo 3.
That's my friends. The one who bought me the Master Chief Collection. His is 3.
Yeah.
That's his favorite.
Yeah, Halo 3 is.
Why you think 3 though? I mean, I played 3 and it was good and I beat it, but why do you think people choose 3, guys?
I don't know. He loves 3. Like anytime we replay, he can't wait to get back to 3. I don't know. I don't know. I have to ask him. I need to ask him why 3 is his favorite.
It's that Trinity thing, I think, too. It's like the third movie in the collection.
Well, 3, if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, and Zink can say this because he can hear. In 3, they and Sega Forever didn't Cortana start to go kind of dark? Wasn't it in 3 where she started to get kind of like dark, like she was it was a dark side to her, right? Like she was being controlled or something like. Remember when she was in his head? I think that was 3.
She was degrading or something. I don't know where.
Yeah, I think because she was being like.
She was reaching the limit or something like that. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it kind of felt like she was starting to go like a dark Cortana, like a, you know what I mean, like a more gritty.
Yeah.
Type Cortana, remember? Because
it's such a classic science fiction trope too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Which is good. I'm not complaining. Sorry.
I think also in 3 you've seen a lot more of. If I correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the flood more apparent in 3? Was it 3? They were in 2, but they came back. Also, I think in 3. Remember, he was inside that.
Okay, Zeke said Cortana was going rampant. That's what it's called. I was trying to think of what that term was. Rampant.
Cortana, yep, she was going rampant. Yeah.
That's right.
AI can only last for 7 years. Thank you. That's what I was trying to pull out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zeke.
Yeah.
I think for me, for 3 is because of that. It expanded the universe.
Yeah.
Tremendously, in my opinion. Like right here, what he says about the AI only lasting 7 years.
Yeah.
And so it set a standard for 4 that's why I love 4 so much.
I think 4 is good. I think the story is fantastic. in
4?
I mean, yeah, I'll say that. Because I like the what was the name of those guys? My gosh, the new people that they introduced.
You mean Buck and all that?
No, the new bads.
I forgot. I know what you're. I forgot.
Are you talking about recent or when?
No,
Are you
Halo
talking-
4. The guys in Halo 4. The people in Halo 4.
Oh gosh, I know. I'm afraid. I know who you're talking about, but I can't. I'm trying to remember what they called.
They were a team. They were a team, right?
No, Halo
They
4
were-
was.
Or that was Reach. I'm thinking of Reach.
Yeah.
It wasn't no Forerunner stuff, was it? I'm trying to remember what they
No,
were.
they had a distinctive name.
I can't remember what they were called.
Zinc. What is it? Zinc would know.
Forerunners. He said the Forerunners. Yeah,
Is it the Forerunners?
yeah.
I thought they were named something else.
I thought that's what the Forerunners. They're the only ones I can think of because obviously you have the Banished for Infinite, then you got Forerunners, and then before that it was the Flood.
Which
Well,
one?
the
which
Covenant
one-
was in CE.
Yeah. Which one was Buck in? Buck was he in 4? Buck.
He
Four-
was. Oh, yeah, I think he was in 4.
Was it in 4 or 5? Wasn't it 5, right? With
Buck?
Locke?
Wait a
Buck
minute, let me
was
see
in-
it.
No. 4 was with Locke. No, I can't. No, 5 was with Locke. Right?
I think that 5 was Locke. 5. Hey, it's so many Halos,
Yeah.
man.
5 was definitely locked.
Yeah,
5 was
that-
definitely locked.
Yeah,
Because there's a
that
lot of
stuff is
people.
blurring. Yeah, I'm remembering events from different games.
Man, I tell you what, man, there was a lot of people that hated 5, boy. I'll tell you. A lot
Buck
of
is
people that.
in
I
5.
mean, I know a lot of the guys that didn't like Honest because they were they're hardcore Halo fans.
Yeah, they didn't like 5 there, Brother Sega Forever. I thought it was good. I thought it was like you said, they expand the universe. You get to see different teams, different things like that. You get to see a different character to you. I mean, I thought it was good, but a lot of people didn't like 5, man.
It upset me because it's kind of like WWF back in the day.
Yeah,
Everybody knows WWF was Hulk Hogan. Okay?
right,
Right. We all know that, but Hulk Hogan don't need to be in every match,
right.
right? Like it's impossible.
No, he
Right?
doesn't.
That's the thing that irritated me about Halo 5, right? The whole story revolved around Master Chief and Cortana.
Yeah,
And then everybody is just pieces in that story that push that narrative forward.
yeah,
And so I lost a lot of respect for some people because I was like, dude, I thought you guys was up on how narration works, but obviously you guys aren't.
Yeah, it's like look for story content people. They love that crap.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome, dude. In fact, I was more. The only thing I didn't like about Locke was that I wanted it to be more gritty. Right?
I had a problem with Locke, and it's not because of Locke. I had a problem with. I think that he should have been established in
yeah.
4
You're right, Dave.
and then carried over because it was going to have such a heavy focus on him. I think then you do that in 5. I just think that's a natural as a person who writes narratives and stuff. I think that would have been a natural progression into
That's why I
Locke's
think
story.
that's why I think that them actually having a showdown, a little bit more gritty showdown, would have helped like kind of to pass that torch.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of people are pushing back on because they can see the writing on the wall, right? And I can't blame them for that, dude. I'm guilty of that with old school Marvel. I have the younger set of people tell me that all the time. Look, old man, just step out of the way and let us take over. I'm like, no way, get off my lawn. I'll go down dying. But
David said he wants Master Chief and more of that. That was the problem with 5. Okay, Master Chief.
yeah. A lot of people.
See, this is why, in
a lot
my
of people said
opinion,
that.
this is why, in my opinion, I think they need to have like this is what I would do. I would have the Halo mainline stories where it's always Master Chief as the head of the story, as the main character, and then I would have what I would call Halo Legends, and then on that side it would be all kind of other stories, you
Yeah.
know, where you got other characters that lead that all take place in the Halo universe. And you can have an ODST. You can really delve into these other stories without having to worry about people who still want to get Master Chief still getting Master Chief. And I think that might be the solution.
I think you're right, and I think that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, and then Zink is right. He's right. He said, like he said, Master Chief was missing, and Locke and Osiris went to find Master Chief. That's what people. Yeah, they went to search for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he is the focal point of that entire game and story.
Right.
Even if he's not in the scene.
He's not. He's just not. He's not in the 4. He's not the main character you're following all the time. But for story, it's good. But it would have been better if that like imagine if that Halo 5 was actually a Halo Legends type of game. People would have loved it, right? Because they wouldn't be expecting Master Chief to be the head of that type of story. Instead, it's focusing on Locke's team.
Right.
It's different Spartan team, but you still focused on them. So I think that might be, like I said, if they do something like that moving forward, I think it would really help, and it would also give them room to get creative and work on some of these other stories. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think that's a product of sometimes Microsoft listening too much.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like a lot of stuff that's new. That's not the point. What are you trying to create? What are you trying to make? And let the pieces fall where it is. That's why I have a certain way about Microsoft when they talk about things, about them pushing the envelope and moving forward, but in their actions. You could have went down in a ball of fire, but you didn't even try. In my opinion, that's my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like the character of Locke. I like the casting of the character, the actor they found to actually play the character.
Yeah, he's a very good actor. Yeah.
I like the team that they put together. I like the fact that team was showing, because it wasn't just the passing of the torch. It was the expansion of the universe.
Right.
Because at some point in time, like, dude, you look at Marvel, what they do with Captain America. Yeah, you have Captain America, but at some point in time, right, you got to move on. Mm-hmm. And it's how you shape that narrative and how you push forward. And you might fail, but you might succeed, right? And that's the risk that you got to take when you're trying to be creative.
Yep.
That's something I try and instill in my daughter all the time when she's thinking about these things. Right? I'm like, dude, you need to take chances, right? You can't be stale. That's the problem in a lot of entertainment we have now. And everybody trying to play it safe, and now it's all about the money.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, man, we wouldn't have 90% of the stuff we didn't have if people didn't take risks.
Yeah, people wasn't willing to take risk and try something different. That's true.
Yeah, so I would have been, look, I mean, I don't. You guys know how I am, and I'm scorched earth. I would have been like, okay, I respect that opinion. Moving on. Because if I did Halo my ways, Locke would have taken the mantle. For me, Locke would have taken the mantle, and then we would have expanded the universe to all the other Spartans.
Okay.
Under the umbrella of what Master Chief is, his legacy.
Yeah,
so I do like Halo. I would name it Halo Legacy. To your point, Legends.
Yeah, thank you. Halo Legacy. Yeah. Can I address Zinc because he's deliberately asking, trying to address me on something. So can
what's the time?
It's 3:43.
43. Okay, ready.
Okay. All right, he says, dear, no, you cannot do that. Halo is not about Master Chief. Halo is a universe. There were many Spartans. Look, I want Master Chief. So we're going to have a Master Chief line of the story. I want to keep, and also think of him like this too, Zink. He is like the Mario of Xbox. You don't ever stop producing. He's going to live forever, okay? So I want to keep seeing. I want them to actually stop where they're at. Just stop where they're at and take Master Chief back to the beginning when he's young. I want to start it over. I want to go back and then and like see if they're already remastering them early ones. I would love to see them go to when he was like a young Spartan, like really young. Like if you see what it was like for him to go through Project Aster and all this. I know I've seen that in like little short stories and stuff, but I would like to experience that in the game. Like I that's what I would like to see. But I'm not saying that they don't do the other stuff too, Zink. I get what you're saying. It's just that I think that they need to have a separate line of games that address that, so that people who still like Master Chief and still want to be the 117, they can still do that, right? They can still play his stories and stuff, but still have that separate line of games that further fleshes out the rest of the universe. Why can't you do that? And then have stories cross sometimes, like some things that has happened in Master Chief's story crosses over to some of the legacy stories and things like that. On occasion,
Yeah, what did you think? What would you think about Master Chief becoming an AI?
I would hate it.
You hate it? Okay. I just throw that out there. I was wondering.
Because if I'm playing, I wouldn't want to play him as an AI. I want him to be, I don't want him to be no AI. So I want him to be. I guess I like the stakes that like when he was getting beat up by Atriox and things like that. I like that there's stakes for Master Chief, even though he's so strong and even though he's one of the best Spartans that's ever been created. Right.
You need that sometimes. You need
Yes,
that
you need the
antagonist.
stakes to be high. AI is not what he's gonna do. Shut him off? You know, I mean, I don't want that. I want him to still have the stakes. So I want him, you know. So this is why I've been thinking like maybe we can get some earlier stories of Chief too.
Yeah, I don't see why that's a problem. I mean, if they want to expand,
Yeah.
And again, I keep on saying this, but you guys remember, Microsoft has a lot of money, so they could do it. I mean, that's what I gathered from that video that we watched, that they want to take the universe, not just the characters, in a different direction.
Right.
So,
Oh,
look, I like stuff that's new. I'm ready to ride. Ride shotgun on this bad boy. You know, let's see what they can do. Then Zink says the Master Chief wasn't in Halo Reach, Halo Wars, nor Halo ODST. Chief cannot be in all the Halo games that would run Halo. Oh yeah, that's why I was saying Zink too about like the WWF back in the day, right? Hulk Hogan was the main draw, but this is how. So you get people in, right, and then they end up occupying the space, and then they end up picking, some of the other people that other people might not like.
You never know, like those other games and stuff might branch off into their own franchises and stuff. That's why I'm saying that it's not really a one size fit all. But I think people would riot if they never see Chief again. I really do.
Especially if it can catch on to a new generation of people, right? Because to me, Chief is kind of timeless in that sense. Like
that's the thing. He's more than just a character. He's not just a character. He's the identity of Xbox at this point. If you never see him, it's like. He needs to be relevant in some kind of way, in my opinion.
Shinza says, to me, Halo is more about the universe, not Master Chief, but I think a lot of fans are more fans of Master Chief than the universe.
I like the universe too. That's why I would like to see those games made too. I do.
So why not do it all, right?
That's what I'm saying. Do it all. Like, why can't you? I actually like the way Halo 5 did it, that it pushed Chief back so that you can bring somebody up. That's fine. I have no problem. And I understand that he, as a character, he needs to die at some point, but he's more than that. He's an icon. He's a figurehead. And unless you just plan to retire him as a character and never, ever use him in a game again, and I wouldn't recommend that. But that's, I should say even Nintendo understood that you don't, if it's something, if a character is that important to your brand, you just don't get rid of them and they get forgotten. Like a good example of that is how we all loved Sega, and though they had a lot of bad games for a while, they kept pushing out those Sonic games and all that stuff. And then Sonic is getting a resurgence now. Their games have been on point, in my opinion. I think they've had some good games, man.
Yeah.
And now Sonic is being pushed to the forefront, but Sonic is that one character they can never let die. They can't retire him. They can't just make him disappear. Even though I know they don't have a platform anymore, he's that character that represents Sega. So you're gonna need to keep seeing him. He needs to keep being in games. He needs to be, now they doing movies, and he has to be involved in things and be in the forefront because he's that important of a character to that brand. And I think Master Chief is that to Halo, all of Halo, but let's face it, Master Chief is the face of Halo. So
yeah.
I think Master Chief is the face of the Xbox too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's my point. And that's why I think he can't just disappear and that whole generation of people not even know who he is and stuff. You can't let that happen to him because of how important he is to Xbox.
Don't put it on PlayStation, Phil.
Oh please. Oh look, you want to know what my wish is? If I had I'm under the tree and asking for a wish, I would say, please, Xbox, do not put Halo on PlayStation. If
I don't think you can handle it. I don't think you can handle
that. Okay, just don't do that. It would be irreparable harm to your brand if you do it.
Yeah,
that would really hurt them if they did something like that, boy.
Extremely.
People have been already. I mean, people, and I'm talking about real fans, right? You're going to lose them. And then the second thing is everybody that hates you are going to jump all over you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds if you guys do that.
Nobody be out there defending them after that. Nobody.
You're just going to have to take it.
Yeah. Nope. They won't get defended at all.
I wouldn't mind letting us play a game revolving around his training and transformation to a Spartan. I think that's what Dale is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah. I would like to be able to play through some of those things, right?
Oh my gosh, look at Zink.
He accused me of ruining. Oh my God, Zink! You take the all 3 Halo encyclopedia books and the #1 story in the history of game. How? I said those things can still happen. Oh my gosh,
Zink is so crazy, man.
Zink treating you like Thanos, man. You snap your fingers.
man! He said if you keep going with your Halo thesis, oh my God, you get in here now.
That Ray Ray's for. Oh my god.
He gonna try. Oh, he's gonna put me in bot court. Oh no. Oh shoot.
Yeah, Master Chief is an icon in gaming. I don't think they could kill him off without problems. Yeah, that would be a bad thing.
I just don't think for the brand is good. I don't.
No.
He said, "Who's getting rid of the Master Chief?" Well, some people want Master Chief to die off. I don't want that. They said like he has to pass away or something. I don't want him to die. Well, look, for story purposes, yes, you would know he has to die at some point. But I don't think it's good for the brand. He's the face of Xbox.
Yeah.
You got to keep him in the minds of people, younger generations, as they adopt it and we die out, right? You have to have him as the forefront. That's why Nintendo never gets rid of that. I don't care if a game is successful or not. They always have a Mario game.
Yeah.
Right? He's not the most popular of the characters. He isn't. I think Zelda might be or something like that. There's other characters that are. I think their games might do better, more. But they're gonna always make a Mario game, and they're smart to do that because he's the face of their brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying that Master Chief cannot disappear and go away.
Yep, like those Metroid guys, dude. Those guys are true believers.
Yeah.
Master Chief is the face of humanity.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I don't know, Zeke, man. I mean, that our boy got some heavy retooling.
Did you know that you can get absolutely free Titanfall 2 for free?
Oh, that's cool.
You
Yeah.
you can keep it. That's
Yeah.
the last time.
And you can get Garden Warfare 2 for free.
I think I already got the Garden Warfare.
Yeah.
The Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
that's a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're part of Ultimate Game Pass and you're part, the EA thing, they threw out a couple free games, which was
Oh, that's cool.
Titanfall 2 and Garden Warfare 2.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go on my Titanfall rant, but we'll just leave it at that.
So you got scars from them days, huh?
Yeah, dude. I look back. I found a picture. I kept it, but I almost deleted it.
Did you?
Wow.
Yeah, because I bought the collector's edition with the statue.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was really
You
disappointed.
did. Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, it was an amazing game. That should have been our franchise. We should be arguing right now. The only thing we should be arguing on Titanfall is Titanfall 9 and why is it getting old?
Yeah.
But we never got that chance, right? Again, it's Xbox One generation, and a lot of people. That's what I'm talking about with this. This is why I'm so, when people talk to me about the console war, I feel a certain way about it because it hurt a lot of franchises for Xbox,
Right.
Mhm.
and it hurt me personally in a way because we never got those franchises. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man, playing games is what it's all about, and you had an active gaming media, an active fan base on the Sony side that absolutely tried to destroy Xbox.
And they're still hoping for it, by the way.
Yeah, but their
They
voices
weren't-
are slowly
They
dying.
weren't dead. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
And I was a Sega guy, guys, coming back from the Sega days, and that's what it reminded me of what happened with Sega and PlayStation.
Wow.
I know a lot of you guys want to rewrite history when it comes to that, but I was there. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I saw what happened firsthand. Me, Sega Man, Hebot, we were there.
Yeah.
Sony is an evil bastard of a company, and they need to die accordingly. So
Oh yeah.
I think they've done more to hurt gaming than even the one thing I gave them credit for. It was expanding gaming has hurt gaming.
Right. Right. Yeah. They have because they've acted selfishly and not in. They never did, in my opinion, they didn't do very much to nurture the entire industry.
No, their
Yeah.
whole history is built on copying people.
Yeah, yeah, and we're still seeing that, like with Astrobot. copying Nintendo.
Yep. Copy trophies.
And I wouldn't have a problem per se, guys, except for you guys would put this moniker on them that they're the industry leader, and they never have been at all. If your metric was console sales, well, okay, maybe I'll give that to you. But the one thing that you guys did do that I can't stand, and we're suffering from it to this day, you brought in all these normies that are not gamers, right? And now, and which is fine. You can not be a gamer, you can just be a normie, but you guys pretend to be gamers, and they're all inundated within the gaming media. It's all inundated with the hardcore fan base of the Sony on the Sony faction, which I don't even know what that means. You guys don't really play your games. You guys don't buy your games. You don't play your games. You guys don't play anybody else's games. So I don't know what that means. Right. So it's like a straw man to me.
It's like when Indiana Jones goes over there. I'm going to wonder how many of them are going to play it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm really watching that. I want to see that too.
Because I don't think they are. I think you'll have some in the PlayStation community that are going to play it, the real players of PlayStation, but a lot of I don't think they're going to play it. I really don't. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to support it because you have to buy it. So they're not going to buy it. I just don't believe they're going to buy it.
I mean, it was smart of Microsoft to at least wait. I think it would be smarter for them not to put it there at all. My personal opinion.
Yeah.
But at least they waited because you might end up with guys like the person again. I keep on referencing this person, but the PlayStation dude who actually got an Xbox for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And he made that comment. He goes, "Oh, why do I have to wait and pay $70 later
That's
on?"
what he said.
I can play now. And so I know, again, I have my feelings. I try and check my feelings. Sometimes I can't help it because it upsets me. But I mean, I have to give credit where credit is due, man. Fill them.
Yeah.
About all this stuff. So. Look, I'm old school, guys. I'm just old. I'm old, right? I'm like grouchy old dude. Kill them all, that's all I am. But that's, again, I like to say that's why I'm sitting here behind on a keyboard and a video screen talking about this stuff. So. On my $3,000 computer. Shinzo Elite, right? Okay, so we can. Sorry, I wanted to address the chat because it was so
no,
fire.
it was backing up. Yeah, and it's some good comments. We couldn't address every single comment, but man, there was some good comments there. I was reading them, especially some from David Stelmack. He's a collector. Oh, yeah. I think he's a pure collector.
He's on fire. Dave's on fire, man.
And then of course, Shizno. I saw Shizno did say I think Halo 2 was his favorite of the Halos. I did read that. Yeah,
I kind of lost track of.
Yeah, I know we kind of lost because it was so much. But it was saying, where did he say that?
Oh my gosh, I gotta share this. I probably shouldn't, but here we go.
What?
David says, I think it's the same problem Gears has and why we're going back to Marcus.
Ooh.
He might not be too far off about that. That's true because we're going to a younger Marcus. Why can't we go to a younger 117?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Look, David. I'll just let you know about this podcast. You can you can talk about Halo, but Gears is kind of off limits.
Yeah, Gears is getting assassinated. We'll see your face on the back of a milk carton. These people are fanatic over Gears, man. I love Halo. I like Gears a lot too, man. I think Halo inches it out for me. I love Halo. I love Halo. So.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Gears head. Y'all know that.
But man, I know not to mess with Gears. I won't be around. You just have my little icon there with rest in peace in there written in.
And look, man. All respect to the Gears crew, to the Gears fan base, man. Those guys are hardcore.
Hardcore, man.
We are
terrifying.
For me, it's kind of like no matter, whatever happens, man. I mean, it's that's one of the things I loved about it, right? When Gears is like at that level, when people start getting tattoos.
I know, man. I wouldn't mess with no Gears fan. I just wouldn't.
But that's one fan base Xbox has always fell back on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm like more of a Halo guy because I like the science fiction aspect.
Oh, look at you, man. He said, did you say Gears when we play it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we gotta play Toolman.
We got set up a date, but I don't know.
We played one before, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah, we played once before.
I went to Toolman. Yeah, we gotta play some more.
Yeah.
Come on,
Toolman's supposed to be playing with me.
Zink, come on, brother. We gotta play another one.
Dude, that's one of the reasons I don't play Gears online, man. Because I'm just so bad at it. Gears was such a humbling game for me, man. 'Cause I played COD, I played Halo, I played all this. I tried to play Gears, and I was like, dude, I was getting pulled over ledges. I didn't know what the hell was going on, man. My team, dude, when you're playing, anytime you're playing a multiplayer shooter and your team turns and looks at your character, you know you're in trouble. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna pretend to be something I'm not. I'm just not. Gonna. I love the game. I play the game, right? But when it comes to the multiplayer, man, that's a whole nother level of that cover and shoot thing, dude. I'm not good at it at all. Shinzo says, I love all Gears. I love 4 and 5 just as much as the OG games.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, love them all.
Oh my gosh, look what Zing wrote.
Now you see why I don't mess with Gears. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
around for very long.
Yeah, me and Dave in the same boat when it comes to
Yeah,
Gears.
shoot. I learned that real quick.
I remember when Gears hit. That was a megaton.
Mhm.
And I remember that, dude. The people came out of the woodworks for that game.
Gears, man. Yeah.
I never minded a little change. I don't get too attached to characters in games. I mean, the hype around what is it called? Sega Man. E-Day, right? Was it
E-Day. Oh.
E-Day?
What is it?
Yeah, Gears E-Day. The
Gears
new
E-Day.
one is coming out.
Yep, that's the new one. Yep.
I mean,
I think what it is. I think what it is. It's a prequel. It's supposed to be what happened before the regular Gears. Before
I don't believe though Shishno isn't attached to Dom though. I don't believe it. Do you guys believe it?
what
Because
happened?
everybody reacted when they saw him in the trailer. You reacted too, right, Second Man?
Yeah, that's Marcus's brother.
Mm,
Did you know that?
I didn't.
That's his brother. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I
mean-
bet you Shishno cried like a baby. He says, I don't get attached to no characters. I bet you he was crying and sniffing, you know. Oh shoot.
You know, it's funny because man, when that trailer released, man, you know what I mean? Like there's other franchises that Xbox has that releases and people will take little snipes at it. Nobody said nothing about Gears.
Man, they smart. They can like dump on Halo all day long, but they leave Gears alone. I don't ever hear anybody messing around.
JD's mother is Anya. You knew that, right? JD's mother is Anya. Anya died in 4. She died before him, but remember when they went to the gravesite? In 4, they went to visit the gravesite. I believe Anya is JD's mom because I think her and Marcus, I think they got together, and I think that's their kid, JD. If I'm right, I think I'm right. Zink would have to. I think that's his mom. Anya was his mom, JD's mom. So, Gears. If I'm right, Zink would also know. But I think when they went to the grave, there was a little part before they went to the house to see his dad, and they went to visit the gravesite because she's buried on his property, and he's there with Kate. You know, talking about how he misses his mom and stuff. And I believe Anya was his mom, Sega Forever, I believe. So
Yeah, I think so.
but there's a story to it, man. You know, it's a good. That's why they were supposed to make a Gears movie, and Bautista was supposed to play
Oh,
Marcus, but I don't know what happened.
They missed
Okay.
the boat on that one. They missed the
They-
boat. on that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
They still got time. Imagine if a show dropped somewhere around when I don't know when Gears E-Day is dropping. I don't know about a date. But maybe if they announce that or have the show, maybe a pilot episode, or something, when
Yeah.
it comes out, that could, you know, I don't know, bring some hype for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bautista's still interested in it.
Oh, okay. Wait
It's
a
become-
minute, Bautista. You know what? He done got skinny. Y'all, have you guys seen him?
I
Yeah,
haven't seen
so-
him.
He
No.
don't look anything like the Gears guys are big. He don't look nothing like that no
Well,
more.
he's talked about that. Dude. He talked about it. That's why he doesn't want to do Guardians anymore. Because it's hard
Oh.
for him to maintain that size as Drax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't realize how old he was. I mean, he's up in. I think he's getting into his 60s pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He done got skinny. I'm like,
Well, it's definitely like I remember him from the WWE game. This dude was massive. He was massive, and over time, then you could tell like
he
like,
was getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, because his body like it was. you can tell they were on something, right?
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying he was full blown. I mean, he had genetic attributes, but to maintain that size over time, dude, I think that rexure helps as well. So I'm pretty sure that's why he's doing what he's doing. And now he kind of fancies himself a thespian. And all credit due to him, man. I never thought he would get to the level he's at now, and he has. I mean, he's made some really great movies. I enjoy his movies.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, that he might be beyond that. I could be wrong. I mean, I think he could get, but I don't even know if he could get that look back.
I don't neither. Because not the way what I saw. Yeah. So you don't want him. You're gonna have to get somebody else to, because the Gears guys are big. He'd have to be big.
Well, look at even The Rock, right? The Rock's trying to maintain his size.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's smaller than he used to be, but he's not as small as Bautista. Bautista's skinny.
Yeah.
He trains hard, and I know a lot of it has to do with me. But when I saw him in, I just watched Red One on Amazon Prime. Great movie.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I thought about it. I was like,
It's worth
but
it.
I didn't watch it. Yeah, my husband wanted to watch Moonfall, so because it was gonna go. So I said, all right, fine, we'll watch Moonfall. So we watched that. We didn't watch that on Amazon. We watched that on something else. But yeah, we looked at that, and I was laughing at some of the scenes in the trailer, and I was like, oh no, that one seems kind of silly,
It reminds me so much of a movie in the vein of Jingle All the Way. It's just funny, great chemistry. I was surprised, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised.
Oh really? They don't seem like they would have that.
It amazed me. I'll just put it.
Wow. Okay.
I highly recommend it. It's a good watch, especially for Christmas. We're still in the holiday season, so. Look, Zink is putting a timetable on this podcast. He said, I think that was 15 minutes ago, so we better move on. Oh, Zink answered your question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Correct. Anya Stroud and Marcus had JD.
Yes. Well, it's just like if in Gears 5, right? Remember when it had that DLC in there? What was it called again?
Shout out to Sinzo.
I forgot the name of the DLC, but in that you got to meet Coltrane's daughter. She's in the DLC. You get to meet Coltrane's daughter. They're on that island. And Zink will tell you too, but in that DLC that they had, which was a great and phenomenal DLC, they had for 5. I think it's Hive. No, it's called the Hive.
Hive Busters.
I think it's Hive Busters DLC, if I'm right. And you got to meet Coltrane's daughter. She's actually in the DLC of that game. So it's cool how they kept things going with it. That's one thing I will say, Dea and Sega Forever, that I like about Xbox and Microsoft's games. Whatever games that they bring out that's under their umbrella, they always keep the story going with inside the game with DLCs,
right,
and different things like that, which makes and validates the money you spend on their games, more value for your buck. You know what I mean? So they keep adding stuff like the Sea of Thieves. They keep adding stuff to Gears, Halo, whatever. They just keep adding stuff, and that's what keeps me, investing also in Microsoft games too. They add stuff and it add to the story. People want, like you said, they're going to add to Indiana Jones. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, that's great. But Hive Busters was a great DLC. I highly recommend it if you have Gears 5, man, because it's phenomenal. You get to see the power of the Unreal Engine also in the Hive Busters DLC, man. It was phenomenal, man. It's really good. It should be like not even that much now, maybe $5. I don't know, but it's definitely worth it if you're going to get into the Gear series to get that DLC there, Dave. It's phenomenal, Dave. I'm telling you, they did a fantastic job. They do the best with the Unreal Engine. They just do. They do the best with the Unreal Engine, man. The Gears team, they do. Coalition, oh man, phenomenal job.
Yeah, shout out to the chat, man. Like Toolman even chimed in and said, yes, Anya is JD's mom.
Yep. Toolman knows. Yeah. Yep.
Sheena says, haven't seen Bautista lately, but he's not getting any. Yeah, then that's.
Yeah, he's old.
Same with Hugh Jackman, like a lot of these guys, dude. They're going to have to pass the torch eventually. Toolman says, oh, is that the DLC, Hive Busters, where you get to meet him?
That's what it's called, yeah.
Yeah, yep, that's it.
Yeah, Zink said it. Hive Busters was great add-on. Piloted those characters too. Oh, nice. And like to Sega Man's point, I know I have to step away for a quick second, but just to say what he build up on what he's saying, it's one of the things I do like that Microsoft. It doesn't just, there are times that they've done that. It's been kind of a throwaway, but those are reasons. There's reasons behind that. But for the most part, man, with their properties, dude, they treat their properties really well. They try and continue them. They have kind of a game plan when they set out, and then it keeping in mind their fans and more importantly us as consumers.
Right.
So you don't feel like you wasted your money on something for the most part.
Yeah. They give you a lot of content for what you buy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then one of the great things about them being hated is they're real quick to like refund.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we had to do this. Oh, here's a $5 gift card.
And that's what made me look at Xbox, because of my experience with PlayStation with that Cyberpunk 2077. I saw that Xbox people had no problems getting a refund. None.
I'm dealing with Sony all these years, and that the first time that happened to me, where they made me do something I wouldn't even do on my own, I'm like, no, I'm done with you guys.
Yeah, that's when I was done. That was when I was done.
And I'll be honest with you, I was using it for the intent and purposes of what as a Sony fan back in the day. My PlayStation was basically my Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, a lot of people use it like that. Yeah,
I had a lot of physical
cheapest version of a Blu-ray player, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Hebot. He's always complaining about that with Microsoft, right? With the displays.
They do need to improve that. I agree with him on that. Yeah.
So let me show you guys something, and then we can continue on. I just want to show this because I think it's important going into 2025. And what it is just a cultural shift when it comes to gaming, the perspective that a lot of the guys like to talk about. And I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to share it because I think it's funny. It's kind of like, if you actually read the article, it's kind of funny. Can you guys see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
So I just basically wanted to read this title. It says, despite a rocky couple of years, analysts reckons Xbox's console war is actually looking pretty bright. If you look at the PlayStation sales chart, you see a lot of Microsoft on there.
That was my point, that they found out Microsoft is laughing while they run to the bank with those PlayStation dollars.
Yep.
And notice how they sing in a different tune, because you can't beat the numbers.
Yeah.
So now all that doom and gloom and all that stuff, PlayStation out selling left and right. They did this and that, and all at the end of the day, Xbox focused on the software and how to get it into people's hands, and now that's why they're doing so good.
Yep. Nothing to worry about over here.
Yeah, like you always say, right, Sega Man?
Yep. There is nothing to worry about. We're eating good over here, man. It's the truth. But it's just the truth. We are. When it comes to games, man, we got everybody. Me, you, Dea, Hebot, Zinc, Tuck, all of us, Hebot, everybody. We have a big backlog of games to play. I mean, we got shit we still got to play.
I sure do. I never even finish games anymore.
Yeah, and then on top of it, we keep buying games.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I bought more games this year off of Xbox than any platform. I have, like I said, Steam didn't get hardly any money from me this year. Oh shoot, I really paid. Shoot, I probably paid. I probably put so much money in their pockets. They probably like, wow, this is because I took advantage of any and all sales that came around.
Yeah, I bet you some of the chat, like Toolman, Shizno Elite, Zinc, everybody in there, they probably got the same thing. They have these big ass backlogs to play because every time you turn around and you turn your damn Xbox on, there's 3 or 4 new games in Game Pass.
You know, Zinc don't play anything other than Gears. What are you talking about?
He gonna get you, Dan.
There's a comment. Incoming.
Talk about he's gonna take me to bot court. I'm gonna get him.
He gonna take you to see Judge Mathis. You better be careful.
Oh shoot.
I will say this, guys. When it comes to the sales, one of the things I find, because I buy so many games, like I see a game, was like, oh, it's on sale. Let me see how much it is. And when I click on it, it says every time I click on it, it goes, you own this. That's how bad. That's how bad. Yeah. When I was looking at some games, like I forgot the Race to the Sun. There's this one that just came up, and I was blown away so much by the story. When I tried it, I just bought it and I forgot. And so it's on sale for it's cheap. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go pick it up. And then I clicked on it.
I'll be back.
Yeah, no worries. So I looked at it and I saw it. I clicked on it and it says, "Oh, you own this." I was like, "Oh," I forgot I bought it. The struggle is real, guys, over here. Just letting you know. Toolman says, other Zinc, they almost slipped up and proclaimed their love for PlayStation again.
Huh?
Oh,
I've never proclaimed my love for PlayStation.
oh, I missed. You know what? I missed Zinc. He said, "Wow, dear."
Yeah, he know that was a good. He know that was a good comeback. Yeah, pat me on the back, Zink. Oh shoot,
Shinzo says, "Software is where the money is, not the hardware." Yeah,
that's true. Yep.
but in the console war mentality, right, Shinzo? It's wherever Sony wants it to be for these guys. It's funny since Game Pass has come out, I spend more money on games. Yeah, that's what Sarah was saying, and again, to the point. I mean, they know what they're doing. They really do, and I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I spend so much money on games.
Yeah, I did too. It's like Game Pass ain't saving me nothing because I spend more. Oh shoot, I see a game I like and I say, oh man, I gotta get it. Um, it's been Game Pass has been making me spend more games. I think I also like I paid the $30 I guess thing for Indiana
Yeah, me too.
and to get access to all of that, and that was worth it. Those costumes, I really like those. and I think that's gonna happen again next year. I really don't see. It's like I'm spending more money. How the heck am I not spend like saving anything anymore? Because it's like I don't know. I don't know how that's happening. Um, I am playing games in Game Pass, but I don't know. I'm spending more money. It's weird.
I mean, it's like I always say, it's like a glorified demo disc in a sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they
It's like I
understand.
see something I like, I just snatch it.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, there's all kind of different price points as well.
That's true.
Um,
That's
I
true.
mean, I did have to go the extra effort. I talk about this on the channel all the time. You guys know how I harp on economy and the effect it's have on people. And for me, I've actually had to change. I've changed some of my subscription services, because I
Same.
participate more in Game Pass. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and that to include the buying of games because, like I said, the price points all over the place. Like for me, $20 for a game is not outside of the ordinary.
Yeah, that's what I've been spending around there. The most I spent is like the $30 upcharge, like for like Indiana.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been keeping it low so that I'm not busting the bank because the games are just so expensive.
Someone says January 2027 Game Pass Ultimate at Sega Man 101. You're right. I'm looking for those deals and buying games frequently. Yeah.
Hey, if you see some deals for Game Pass Ultimate, let me know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them right now.
Oh, really? Where? Oh, CD.
Because on your Xbox, it's just game deals or deals for Game Pass, and then you can click on that, and it'll take you right to all the games that they have on sale in Game Pass. And I picked up this one motor racing game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh wow, dude, this is a throwback. So I got it. It was like $1 something. So I'm just gonna try it out. If I don't like it, okay, I just spend $1. But it works out because a lot of the narrative has been it's all about AAA titles, AAA titles, AAA titles, titles from Japan, titles from Japan, titles from Japan. But again, if the numbers don't match up, I mean, you can say whatever you want to, right? And it worked out, in my opinion, it worked out in Microsoft's favor because they did everything, right? They did the indie, they did the third-party studio stuff, they did their own stuff.
Yeah.
And what it does is, especially with their having Game Pass, they're plugging in all these holes throughout the year. And I'm talking calendar year, or I could say fiscal and calendar year. Well, we'll go with calendar year. They plug in all these holes as the year goes on, right? And it meets people where they want to be because, contrary to popular belief, not everybody's dropping AAA studio games all the time.
That's true. I mean, everybody's not an Xbox.
Yeah.
They're the only ones doing it at that rate. I can't see anybody else doing it like that.
This is kind of what Disney Plus wanted to do, except Disney's stupid. And so, unlike Disney, Microsoft was like, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to be smart about it.
Right, right.
So they and you know the thing that a lot of the ponies don't understand, the Sony guys, trying to be nice, the Sony people don't understand, is that you guys have been hating on Xbox for so long. You get numb. I see this all the time with kids, right? When a parent just constantly berates their kid,
Yeah.
And the kid turns out bad, and the parents like, I tried to raise him as best I can. I was like, no, dude, you didn't raise them. You yelled at them all the time, and that kid got numb to it, so it loses its effect. And that's what's happening with um, a lot of the stuff in the gaming industry right now. You said Xbox is going broke. Xbox sucks. Xbox has no power. Xbox has no games. You said it so much that when somebody actually again, I'll reference this dude. He actually gets an Xbox for Christmas from his wife,
Oh
which he
yeah,
admits
that
he
guy.
never would
Yeah.
have bought.
Yeah.
Right? He gets that, and he experiences this for himself, and then he flips.
Yeah.
There's
It's
one or
his
two
main
things.
console now. Yep.
So what happens is two things, right? One, he has actual enjoyment and excitement. Number two, you lied to him.
That's
You-
true. That's true. He was misled because
Yeah.
he thought the Xbox platform was bad, that it was nothing over here. I don't think he even understood why people was here. Now he understands. And then he actually said recently he's so glad he switched because of the year that's coming up, and he sees how dry PlayStation is about to be.
And the biggest thing he did was he admitted that he was one of those guys,
He
and
did.
that's why the PlayStation guys are losing his mind, because
Yeah.
when somebody realizes that, it's over. So
Yeah.
and he'll continue. The thing that got me about it, because he was getting attacked, I was like, bro, he says he's gonna still play PlayStation.
Yeah. He says some games over there he liked that he played before. So if they make sequels or something, he's going to get them. But he says just for the exclusives, he's not interested in the other games. He said you just play those on Xbox. So, you know,
And again, the one thing I don't think people understand, and I try to make a point on my channel, is you're paying. You remember, guys, you pay for Game Pass,
yeah.
right? And I'm not saying I like the price increase. I wish Microsoft honestly kept it at a lower price point, but people realized that when they raised it to $17 for Ultimate Game Pass. So don't feel guilty, right? Don't skip out on deals because you feel like you're not supporting. Remember, it's not just you. What Microsoft is going through is everybody. Everybody's in the ecosystem, and everybody's doing their part. Because I know that's a big concern for the industry right now. Um, People are worried about, you see people getting laid off, studios closing down, all that stuff. But you can't, you're doing your part. If you have Game Pass, you're doing your part because you're paying monthly. And if you do 12 times 17, then I'm pretty sure you won't feel so bad, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be every year, and you got 52 million according to the latest rumored numbers, right? You have 52 million people doing the same thing, so you're in good company. Right? Let me see. Toolman says CD keys is where I go for Game Pass.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to mine CD keys more. I bought some stuff, but on different sites. I haven't.
Yeah.
I only bought CD keys once, so I need to frequent that more often.
Yeah, and don't feel bad about CD keys because you know what Microsoft does. Microsoft will adjust accordingly. They're a big corporation.
Right.
You're not going to get over on them, so you need to do what's right for you. Okay, it's just like if you went to Vegas and you feel sorry for the casinos, don't feel sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the end, they're going to get money. Oh boy, sorry guys. My work is writing me.
That's okay. Okay, what
Oh
was
my
the
gosh.
subject that we were supposed to cover? Because I kind of forgot it.
Yeah. We touched on it. I wanted to move on to the next one, but the Sega man kind of stepped out.
Oh, okay.
We're just kind of talking right now, but
Okay.
we can move on and catch him up after if you want to.
Okay. All right.
Well, since I have you here, Dale, why don't we talk about this? Because
All
we're
right.
going to do more purchases. But why don't we talk about what we were talking about before I end the show? We'll talk about GDC, and well, actually, it is part of purchases. So we'll talk about GDC, and like I have the opinion that Microsoft's going to buy Valve. Not a popular opinion. That's just mine.
I think it's and honestly, if Valve is willing to sell for them, I think they'll jump at it just like they did ABK.
Yeah, So go ahead. So please expound because I have my own reasons.
Well, I've said well, because I think that number one, Valve is not a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
It would be an easier purchase for them to make without having. They would still have some regulatory stuff, maybe, because again, that's a big market in other countries and stuff. But it wouldn't be in the same way that they had to deal with Activision, right? They still might have some say, but it wouldn't be as much of a hurdle. But I also think that Gabe's relationship with I'm not sure if it's with the Xbox in general, or if it's like with Phil Spencer. I don't know, but I know that I'm telling you now, when Gabe said that he trusts Xbox and that he has no problem with making a deal with them without a contract, that was huge.
Yeah.
That's a level of trust in business that you don't see very often.
It's my understanding there that he didn't care for the old guard.
No, he didn't like the old guard at all. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So the people that's there now, he likes them. Okay. And he's like, you don't even need to give us and they never signed the contract with him. They just
Yeah.
knew that Microsoft was true to their word.
Yeah, and
So-
also I think it says something for their confidence in their product, which I
Exactly. And they've been doing business with, unlike PlayStation that's just not getting involved in that, they've been doing business with wait a minute, what the heck? Oh wow. Yeah, I have to check that out. I'm sorry. I had to look at that. But
I figured you saw it, that's why I popped it up.
yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, I'm had to jump
It's like
in.
$10 a month. Mhm.
But yeah, but basically that relationship is a big deal because, like, let's look, for example, when Bethesda was ready to be bought, right? Who did they go to? They said, they knocked at the door, hey, Phil, we about to make this deal and all this stuff. I mean, we could use, somebody buying us and stuff, but we rather kind of be with you. They took it to Microsoft because of their relationship, right? Let's look at Katakawa. Katakawa has a long relationship with Sony. What did they do? They come knocking at Sony's door. Hey, we would like to be purchased, and so we thought we would bring this to you first. They could have took it to anybody, but they took it to Sony.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense. It made sense for Bethesda because they're long relationship, and it made sense for Katakawa and Sony. Well, who do you think Valve will come to? I don't think they will go to Sony and knock at their door. I don't think they go to Tencent.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't think they go to Tencent.
Right. They will go to Microsoft and give them first offer. Because that's a repeating trend that I noticed when an acquisition can be made. Like, most of the people are ready to let go whenever Gabe is ready to let go. They will go to the company they feel most comfortable leaving their company with, right? They'll go to them first. And honestly, I think Gabe has been paying attention to what Microsoft has been doing with the purchases they already have done. They see that they honor contracts. They see that they have. I think Gabe doesn't listen to the idiots and the media and all that stuff. I think that he pays attention and understands since he works from within the industry, that he understood that the moves that Microsoft made when they had to lay off some people and all that, due to acquiring such a large company as Activision Blizzard King, he probably understood that these was moves that had to be made. He probably was well aware that Activision Blizzard King was in a bad situation. That purchase was, the company was, Activision in particular, was in a bad place. And to some degree, Blizzard too, from what I heard. And that management had to happen. And what that means, management translates to some people is losing their job because they mismanaged and they messed up, right? And they need to go. And so that's what Microsoft did. And I think Gabe has been paying attention to all these things because he knows at some point he is going to have to sell that company. He knows it. He's going to have to either turn it over to somebody or sell it. And I think that he's probably been paying attention to what Microsoft has been doing because, number one, he knows they have the money. They paid for cash when it came to Activision Blizzard King. So they got the money. He doesn't have to worry about that. But also, I believe he's been watching and seeing how they run things. And pretty much, I think he's learning, for the most part, unless they have to be, they're hands off. They let the companies do what they have to do. And they just assist, basically. That's what they do. And so these are all favorable things to Gabe. Now, I don't know. Gabe is kind of eccentric in the sense that he likes Linux and he likes things like that. I don't know. I guess maybe Xbox would be willing to work out some issues when it comes to things like that. Like they would not be allowed probably to turn Steam into a Windows only kind of store. Like I don't think Gabe will like that, right? So they will probably have to still heavily support Linux as well. Like I think he will understand they would support Windows, But I think that he would probably put a clause in there that they also have to support Linux.
I don't know. Everything at Microsoft is so in flux. I don't. I know at some point in time that would have been out of the norm, but I don't. I think nowadays
Hmm.
anything is possible when it comes to them because they've done so much already, reaching across the aisle.
They
A lot
have,
of different companies, corporations.
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing that happened with them going, the heavy lifting they had to do for AKB, man, they had to do all
It
that
was a
stuff.
lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
to your
remember, that's
point,
a
I think,
publicly traded company, but that's not Valve, you know.
yeah. But to your point, I mean, when people see that, um, that they see that, I mean, because I mean, they're Microsoft, but like in a lot of aspects, some of the stuff they do, I personally don't think they need to do,
Hmm.
right? But I mean, I think it's paying off dividends now, like you said, right?
Right.
People are looking at them differently. Gabe being one of them.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
Gabe will be looking at, do you really support other stuff? Because they're open. They're open platform in that they're, they're, and even from what I'm hearing, I think Valve is thinking about uh licensing out their OS and stuff so that handhelds
yeah.
can use it and all that. So they're becoming more and more open platform, but so is Microsoft in that sense too. So
Can Microsoft bring in anything to the table for Valve in that sense?
um
Like I can speak on Activision because I play COD so much, right? But
right,
there's a lot of things Microsoft brought to the table with Activision,
right,
the company as a whole, and the games that they have.
right.
So that I understand. But is there anything? I'm not on the Steam side or the PC side or anything like that. So is there anything that Microsoft brings to the table?
I think well, they do a lot of things similar, to be honest. Like
Okay.
trying to have a seamless, like the way the cloud is operated and the way I think with the hardware, I think that I could see Xbox having a bigger advantage with the hardware because this chips and things that they have patents to and stuff people don't even know about. I
Hmm.
think that I think that's where I can see Steam getting a big boost. Um, is with the hardware because think about it. If they merge with Steam, I know that Xbox doesn't really want to do VR, but they would. I think they would if they had it. I would like to believe that they would still support it, right, and still push it forward and stuff. So maybe they would come out with better VR. And so you know how it is. Microsoft, they can't help themselves. They have to improve tech. They just have to. It's like it's in their blood and stuff. So I think they would do that. The handheld, I think they would try to
I
improve
mean,
on that.
yeah, I actually like that about Microsoft because it keeps them grounded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they know they have to.
Even though they're a software company, they are very much involved in hardware, and I
Yeah.
think that I can really see that. And then they kind of Steam would not have to do no console. They would kind of gain a whole console and fan base through Xbox. They
Okay.
would
Okay.
bring that to the table.
Here's my next thought. Right. We know they're good. We know that Sarah talked about a hybrid.
Right.
My thought process is that's what the hybrid is going to be. Right. It's going to be PC friendly and still have the best benefits of console.
Ooh.
Because that seems to be like a divide. I could be wrong. You can correct me.
If
Chat, you can correct me too.
if
I don't
that
know.
happens though, if they was going to acquire Steam, that would make it so much smoother.
Yeah, that's where
Because
my brain goes. That's my thought process.
right. I think if they go that route, it would be strong for everybody gains some, but I think they would bring a lot to Steam with that because I know look, Steam has tried the console thing. People act like they have, like it's not a big deal to Steam. No, they make a lot of money off of PC, but trust me, they tried a console before.
Right.
They don't do it better than Xbox. Okay, they just don't. So Xbox, they're strong there, and I think that's where they would be able to really help Steam in that area. They will be able to get into the living room without the PC. That's something they've been wanting to do, and I think that definitely is the biggest. I think that Game Pass, you cannot beat that. A money source that with subscription
Mhm.
is guaranteed money every month, guaranteed every year. Like, yes, Steam makes good money. They do well on the storefront, and they would keep doing that. But just imagine, they don't know what it's like to have a service where they just guaranteed this money coming in every month to every year. That's that would be a huge gain for Steam. And I think that because they do a lot of R&D, they also make games. People don't realize that they're working on I think they're working on some type of battle royale or something. They're working on a game now. They do games. They just move at a very, very slow pace with their games. They're not pressed to do it. They don't need to do it. They make so much money. They just do it slowly at their own pace.
Right.
But they do make games, and they still making games, right? And so yeah, I think that they would benefit with that. The publishing arm of Microsoft is a big deal. I think they would gain from that. And I think that certain connections and things that Xbox have, I think they would gain from that because they benefit from Microsoft as the parent company. So I also believe that will help Steam. So I do think they bring something to the table to make Steam bigger, able to grow more. Because I definitely see more growth. I see a lot of growth on PC, but I also see a lot of growth on Game Pass and well into the future. Whether a console exists like 50 years from now or not, I can still see Game Pass being around. So you're talking about the longevity of a powerful entity, that would be it.
Yeah, that would be a complete upgrade for both, I think.
A big upgrade. And cloud, like Xbox understands cloud very much so. They they have their own services. It would be a huge thing. They would definitely bring a lot of benefits to Steam. And I couldn't see it much with anybody else. Like if it was Tencent, I don't know what they would bring to that. I don't know. Money, that's not enough. They get money. Steam is not hurting for money. So it has to be something more than that to make it worth their while.
I mean, in cases like that, sometimes people want to cement their legacy, right? For Steam, I mean, they are a big player on the scene. I know that much, man. The majority of the guys I work with that have Steam far surpasses the people I know that don't have Game Pass.
Right.
Now, granted, I work with a bunch of IT guys, but David says I'm back. Yeah, welcome back, brother.
Oh, welcome back, David.
Oh, says sorry, wife. Oh no, don't be sorry, brother. Handle your business. Because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna matter the most, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You just on here with a podcast with us. You know that is your significant other.
That's right.
So yeah, handle your business, dude. But welcome back. Yeah, that's a very interesting point. I mean, and I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm really trying to think it out loud. But you know how the internet is, dude. You just can't have I can't just have an idea.
Right. You need to think it through. Exactly. And that was a good question. It made me think it really through. And yeah, you're right. You know, Microsoft will have to bring something to the table for Steam. And I think that's what would be it, you know.
Yeah, because one of the things I always hear is that the market is shrinking for consoles, right? Or like it's at its pinnacle.
Right.
But they say like 200 million, right?
Right.
Okay, so now I know Zink's probably listening. Zink, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But 200 million people is still a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Right. So you have two ways to cut it, right? You can either expand the business, which they're saying is you can't, you know, that's becoming harder, or it's almost impossible to expand it beyond 200 million. So the only option you have is to take over the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's the best of both worlds for both Steam and Xbox.
I do too. Yeah.
Because the only person that's going to be left out of the code, if we're being honest, is Sony. And you guys know how I feel about Sony.
Well, Sony will be right where they need to be on Steam, where everybody can. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to go that far, but shots fired. No, but you're right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, I didn't think about that. But they do put their games on PC.
Yes.
Right? And how does that work with Steam, though?
I haven't yet. I was thinking about getting Ghost of Tsushima, whatever that's called. But they do. But I already have one though. I've had one from when I had a PlayStation, so they require you to have an account. But I already have one at my old account, so it's not a big deal for me. But I think, in my opinion, I think they would do better because people on PC does not trust their platform because it gets hacked too much. And you know, a PC person hack, those two things don't go together. You know, you do everything in your power to protect your PC from hacking and from viruses and all that. So they don't like that. So that's what's keeping people from really adopting PlayStation, to be honest with you.
That's funny to me that you make that point, because on the flip side of that, especially on the console side, it's all about, especially with the Sony guys. No, we're too good to be over there by our console.
Yeah.
And then the PC guys have that things like, yeah, well, fix your crap first.
That's what. Yeah, basically. They
Yeah.
don't trust it. They do not trust it. They get hacked too much. And I've heard too many people say that.
Yeah, I mean, I experienced it once in my life, and it wasn't a bad one like other people had, but
I had
again,
a bad one.
I think it didn't affect me as much because I wasn't playing the games really as much. Like I said, I was using it as my DVD Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
Because I had a big collection, and that's what it mostly did. I stopped playing the games for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, but see, so I'll bring this stuff up and then immediately get attacked about this from all sides, from the Xbox side, from the PlayStation side, from the PC side, and then it made me feel like understanding, like I've had some very harsh commentary on Phil Spencer. I try and keep it logical, but
right,
it kind of made me feel a certain way. I was like, well, I mean, what's wrong? What's wrong about at least thinking about that idea?
Right.
Forgetting that we are where we are on the internet. Hey, what's up, Prime, my brother? How you doing, man?
Hi, Prime. Thank
Good
you
to
for
see you,
joining
bro.
us.
Yeah, hope you had brother. I saw your video. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, brother. I know how it is, man. Yeah, even told me. Yeah, we all know Prime is old school.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my thing. Going into 2025, I want to see those purchases.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important. I think it's important because nobody's going to give Xbox anything.
They're not. No.
Microsoft and Xbox are going to have to take it, in my opinion.
And in my opinion, this is the time to do it. If they let this opportunity slip by, they're fools.
Yeah. Because given the way it seems that the environment is changing business-wise.
Yep. Linacon is all but gone, so you don't have to worry about the American side of things. Yeah. And we'll have to see what's going to happen with the UK. We're going to have to see.
Yeah, I mean, let the UK be how they are. And at this point in time,
well, they actually tried to block it when in my opinion, they had no legitimate reason to even try to block ABK.
Yeah, UK has their own stuff going on right now, though. They're having their own quote unquote revolution over there.
Oh, hopefully they can clean house over there.
Well, and a lot of countries are going through that right now. So, and that's what I love about Xbox. It's like, hey, let's move forward regardless.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And yeah, like to your point though, if they don't do that's not really good. I think they gotta clinch it right now. And again, I share on my ex, dude. It's just really here.
Zeke.
What did he say?
He said Linacon is already gone. I kicked her out last week.
Dude, if there's one thing that brought us all together, was Linacon.
It was Linacon unified the Xbox community.
Yeah, even the gaming community, because even the Sony guys had to take a double take because they were going after Sony.
They knew Linacon was something else, man. That woman.
The enemy of my enemy.
She just hated big business. It had nothing to do with gaming. She never cared about it. It was just she was going after other ones too. People forget that she was going after Meta. She was going after Apple, Google. She went after a lot of big tech companies.
Well, like I say, and this is what I say on my thing. I'll be honest with you, is they game recognized game. Those guys, they want to be the ones in control, man. And they know tech is again, it's like Dr. Doom and Loki, man. At some point in time, one of them is going to turn.
Yeah.
Because there can only be one. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Well, let me share this real quick. Let's see what Zing says. I share this, my grown-up Christmas list.
Your grown-up Christmas list.
Yeah. So this is what I put on X.
Oh, grown-up Christmas list for Microsoft this year. Did you look at you?
Yeah.
Buy Sega, number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, buy Steam.
Yeah.
Number 3, buy EA. I'm glad you included EA in there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this one. Number 4, buy Netflix.
Yep.
And number 5, focus on South Korea and SEA?
Oh, Southeast Asia.
Okay. Oh, Southeast Asia. Okay.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's my Christmas list. That's
That's
all
a
I need.
beautiful. If that thing came, but man, that would. You know what? They could buy Netflix. I didn't
Yeah,
think
they have
about
the money
that.
to. Yeah.
Why would they buy Netflix though? For the like what? Just to have a different avenue for money or what?
Okay, so I'll say this. That's my own little hang up because I'm still hurting over 2013. That was the goal of not to be Netflix, but the goal. Well, I mean, the goal of Xbox was to be a pop culture all in one box.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that was back when Xbox One started, right?
yeah, yeah, that was the vision, and the reason they did that is because the 360 showed them that. Again, like we always mention, that people don't realize is that if it wasn't for the 360, I honestly believe Netflix digital would not have taken off the way that it did.
Right, right.
Because I played my Xbox 360 a lot because there was games that always brought me back, COD and Left 4 Dead, being the two
Yeah.
major ones. And my entire this consisted of people that played those games, and
Mhm,
all those people did two things: they played those games and they watched Netflix.
mhm.
Because if you guys remember, right, you have a little avatar thing. We had the avatars, so it would show what your friends were doing. And for Netflix, there was them on a couch,
Right.
or if they were away from their Xbox, the character would be sleeping, right? So I see them doing that now. That Xbox One thing, because again, one of the great things about Microsoft is that they're forward thinkers. Again, Xbox 2025 facing future, right? But the same that's also kind of worked against them, right? They're too ahead of the game sometimes,
Right.
and it's unfortunate because I think in 2024 we see that we were right. We see what their vision is. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And Tuma says WWE is now with Netflix. Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Imagine if they owned Netflix and then they made a game based off of WWE.
Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing. That's what Netflix is trying to do with their gaming thing, right? But
Oh, that's right. They do. How's that been turning out? Because I don't know.
I don't know. I think it'd be better if Xbox was exploring with Netflix than opposed to Netflix trying to get into gaming.
Yeah, because I'm not hearing much about what's going on with that. And
Right.
is the gaming thing turning out good? I don't know.
I mean, I tell you, I mean, with Amazon, as big as they are, they couldn't do it,
They
or
couldn't even
Google.
do it. Yeah.
Google couldn't do it, and then the only thing saving Apple is their gaming store, which they're in court right now, and it's interesting because Xbox.
They're
um,
blocking Xbox, right?
They're blocking Xbox right now, and I think they're going to get their way because Khan's out the door. So, if Microsoft again, you want to compete, man, you're gonna, this is why I think the purchases continue. And Satya said as much. Now, are they going to purchase the people I would like for them to purchase? I don't know.
Okay, let's ask that question. What do you think is likely? Okay, let's look at your list. Can you bring your list back up?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry.
That
Sorry,
rooster's
not as
going
fast as
crazy again.
unlimited.
Okay, so do you think it's likely that they get Sega? Now I'm gonna say this: that Sega is not in the same place it was before when Xbox was looking to buy them. They're a lot stronger now. Do you still think that Sega would be willing to sell? I mean, I'm hearing they're talking about making a subscription service of their own and all this stuff. So, how likely do you think Sega would be willing to sell?
For me, top would be Sega. Just because they're one of the more affordable ones.
Right.
They already have a relationship
Yeah.
with Microsoft
Yeah.
that spans decades.
Right. It does.
A lot of the success that Sega has, two things is their partnership already with Microsoft.
Okay. Yeah.
Number two is they're trying to diversify their portfolio as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they're trying to get into other avenues, kind of like what Nintendo's doing. Sega wants to do that, and Sega's I think having a little bit more success. Because it's my understanding, I don't think they're going to do another Mario movie, and you already have 3 Sonic movies out there. Just gives them cash flow to do that. Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because Sega stopped making hardware, so it's all about the brand, right?
Right.
I'll tell you
They
a funny
have to
story.
protect the brand, yeah,
and grow the brand.
and grow it. Exactly.
And so here's a funny story. I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops, jumped into zombies, and when I was in the lobby, there's a girl with her headphones on, and she goes, "Oh, Sega." And I was like, "Oh," but I don't have my headphones, so I couldn't say anything. I just jumped in front of her when the game started, and then she ran past me and killed like 5 zombies that I needed to get my money. But anyway, it doesn't. Use that as a distraction. I don't know. Just saying. But that's the power of the brand. I think one of the things that it's taken Sega so long is because of cash flow. I mean, honestly,
Right, right.
they just haven't, and I'm happy for their success. I think they'll be fine if they continue on their own.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that's one of the things that, that's why I was asking about Steam and Microsoft. Because to me, Steam would be the harder. Like,
That would be the hardest one. Yeah, yes, that
actually,
would be.
yeah, it's Valorant. So um, that would be the hardest on this entire list. Is that
Yes,
to
it
me?
would be. Yeah, they such a big part of their market.
Yeah.
If they got Steam, I think they'd be done. I think they'd be done because yeah, that's a big market.
I think if they got Steam, I think just to expound on what you're saying, I think one of the things about that is it'll be a whole new gaming industry.
Sure would.
And so when you have these people cutting deals with other companies and third party, I think a lot of that goes out the window.
They have to do business with Steam. Like so if Xbox owned that, they have to do business with Xbox.
Yeah.
There's no working and worming their way out of that.
Nope.
You know, like so, yeah.
There was two things I was looking at. The first one, I talked about this for years, was if we could get to 100 million subscribers on Game Pass.
That's
If
what
you
I
could get,
thought they would do, but people aren't adopting it as much as I thought they would.
I'm telling you, that economy, man. I mean, we can say I know I looked at up all the ups and downs with the gaming in general and how people consume gaming, but I'm telling you, man, that's how bad the economy was. And I'll put that out there, and I'll back myself up with the simple fact that a lot of these streaming services are not cutting it, and some of them are actually good, right? But when you have an economy where people, regardless how good the quality of your streaming service is, I think Paramount's pretty awesome. Myself, when you have the disposable income, not a problem to drop that nine to $12. Of course, a lot of them were in the $7 range, but they didn't get the growth that they thought they would get, so they raised it up, which hurt a little bit more because the way the economy. And then these guys are tone deaf to what people are trying to tell them, right? I'm not going to get into the politics of it on this channel, but we all know we all know what I mean, right? Is they weren't listening to the common person that has to deal with this every day, with the stuff that you have to focus on, the stuff you have to buy, right? And it totally went all over their heads, and that's why I don't. This is why I never believed that Xbox was dying. It has slowed down for reasons outside of what Microsoft and Xbox was doing.
Right.
If you look at Game Pass, honestly, if you guys check your bias and look at Game Pass, and this is what I do. If I had Game Pass back in the 80s, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have got you would have found me dead in my room. That's how bad. Because I was hardcore.
A corpse with a controller in his head.
That would be the story about me. Just
Oh,
because
man.
there's so much content on there, it's so affordable, right? It gives you options. Even if you don't buy a game right away, dude, just wait. If you're hurting that much, and this is Microsoft in general, just wait and then you can buy it. Right? This is why they built that ecosystem, so that as long as you participate in the ecosystem, you're participating financially to it, right? And so that's the way I looked at it.
Right.
So if they could have got that big, like I'm pretty sure they were looking like they talk about it on Power On. I know we're referencing that documentary a lot, but they were not expecting Xbox Live to be as big as it was, and then it was.
Right.
I think they were expecting Game Pass to be bigger than what it was, but it wasn't. And that's why I was talking. I did videos called Bulletproof. I was like, dude, if they can reach, we want to reach 40 million, then we want to reach 50 million, but then the goal is 100 million, because it would be such a big part of the audience. And I think a lot of those people would have grown gaming, but a big part of the audience that if you're Square Enix, and they've come around, but a lot of these companies at the time that wasn't giving Microsoft no shine, they couldn't have ignored them at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But Steam could be the answer.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, not could be. I mean, it is. It's like I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay, all right.
Yeah. It's not could be. It is.
It is. Well, okay. Let's take Steam out of the equation. Let's say that Steam is not an option for now, right?
Mhm.
If of the companies that you're looking at, and let's remove Netflix because we're gonna just focus on gaming right now, okay?
Sure.
So, all right. So, who do you think would benefit Microsoft the most in gaming? We already know Sega and EA. Would there be any other companies that you think could fill in that role?
Not really.
No, but no one. You don't think anything. You don't think any publisher or studios maybe or anything like we're not even looking small or
I mean, I
Maybe
think
IP, perhaps something like that.
well, there's a go-to. So I'll say a couple things, right? Because and this is under the premise that Microsoft just needs content. So anybody that they can get that produces them great quality content would be helpful for them because they have a streaming service. Now, with that being said, the go-to answers would be the guys who make uh, GTA, right? That's the number one
Right. So
because it
take
has
two.
such a big presence. So.
Right.
And I think they're Rockstar, right? So don't they make the Cowboy game?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't think of it right now.
I know what you're talking about. Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead.
Yeah.
So Take Two would definitely be, but I so I will course correct. Yes, that would be good because I think what they're looking at is like Satya said, they're looking at billion-dollar franchises,
Yes. Yes.
right? No more, no less. So Sega to me is a passion buy. They have the content and stuff like that. I don't know if they have they don't. I mean, they could possibly get that level. Who knows? They got projects coming up
Hmm.
that we haven't seen. But EA definitely because they have the sports.
That's what I'm saying. They need sports. In my
Genius.
opinion,
Yeah.
EA would fill that role for them. And because remember, if you're looking at it from a content
Yes.
services type of angle, this is how I'm looking at it. Like if we take away, I understand all of the things you put there, but like if I had to take away Steam and obviously Netflix for obvious reasons, right?
Mhm.
Sega would fill in the role for Japanese publisher, large with identifiable IP. Also, they're very strong in the mobile market.
Yeah.
So they would meet those needs, right? Also, they got studios and stuff that can help produce games for Game Pass. So
Yeah.
they
And we
they
can
meet
help
that
them,
need.
and we can help them grow their properties.
Exactly.
Atlas is killing it right now. So yeah.
Exactly. Atlas is, and you never know. You may want to even separate them into a
Yeah,
two
they can.
studio team and something like they had them working on two games at one time and something you never know. So though that's always an option. So I see a lot of value in Sega. In EA, I see a lot of value because they meet a need that Xbox currently does not have, and that's sports. Other than like like racers and stuff like that, they don't really have any sports titles that they own. So EA would feel that need. EA is already involved with Game Pass. They already have a relationship there. They have a deep relationship in the services area. EA has a lot of experience in the service area. Um, and they make games that will work really well in Game Pass, like the studio that did It Takes Two and the other game that they got coming out. I forget what that's called, but those games look very good. And obviously It Takes Two won Game of the Year, so they have some good quality studios that do that. Now I don't know about the studio that makes the Star Wars game and all this. I don't know. I don't know because I know Phil doesn't like the license stuff, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Shout out to Hebot, with the Indiana Jones thing.
Yep, yep. So,
But
you think they would continue the Star Wars license? Like, let's say they did get EA, would they continue that, or would they have that studio do other titles and stuff?
I mean, the easy answer is yes. But I mean, again, we're talking about Disney, right?
Oh, Jimmy Carter died?
Yeah, he passed away. That's you remember I told you my boss texted?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what he
that's
said.
what you said. Oh, wow, he was 100. Wow. Well, now
Don't see why my boss tweeted it.
the country is going to be in mourning now.
Yeah, so that's why my boss was telling us
Oh,
that
wow,
because that affects my job. So,
wow. Thanks, Pepe Le Pew. Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks, Pepe. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yeah.
So let me throw this out there because I believe it was unlimited, or even you did it, but I think it was unlimited. Correct me if I'm
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
The thing that solidified my thing about EA was when I think it was unlimited that said that college football
Oh,
really,
yeah. That was a big title that dropped.
and Xbox benefited from that big time. And
It
so
did. It absolutely did. Yeah. So we now that game has tested and showed they can drive content like pairs, people playing the game, or it wasn't in Game Pass, of course, but just paying for the game, it drove a lot of traffic to Xbox. So imagine if that thing dropped in Game Pass.
the properties that EA have on the sports is akin to the same thing experience you get with COD. Right?
Right.
And look, I've been there. I do it myself. We complain every year. It's the same game. They got to fix this and this and this. And then when the game drops, you're
People
there day
buy
one
it.
loving it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the power of that brand. So if I see if anybody to answer your question would be EA over Take Two, right? Because the thing with Take Two, and I know GTA. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that. They do it. They do it all. All right. I'm
Right.
not saying I'm not against it,
Right.
but with EA, they can monetize a lot more of their franchises.
That's true, and I think that that's where Xbox can help them because they're very good at it.
Yeah, and EA needs to diversify. A lot of you guys might not notice, but EA actually used to make regular games.
Oh yeah, they did. I was around when they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Electronic Arts stood for that. Electronic Arts, and
Arts,
electronic.
right?
Yeah, Electronic Arts. That's what EA stands for.
Yeah.
And some of their best games is not the sports games. In fact, I'll be honest, I hated Madden, guys. I don't like Madden. I don't. I was playing every other football game. Tecmo, Sega had a game. Every other game except Madden. I could not stand Madden, right? Because I didn't like the perspective. I know that's sacrilege and stuff like that, but it is what it is. So why am I saying we should do it? Because it's a business thing.
Right. And that's
But-
what you want those franchises to do. Their job is to bring the money in, so you can then put that money towards other games. Right?
Yeah, and I want EA to be free, right? You had an
Agreed.
awesome, amazing, was it Underground game that came out that was totally amazing, but it didn't do the numbers,
Right.
right? Because that it just
Well,
didn't do the numbers.
They
So,
still got BioWare, right? They got BioWare.
not BioWare. But when you have that backing, and again, you have something in play that can bring in money.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it's amazing how much Xbox has all their bases covered.
They do. They have a lot covered. It's some areas they can shore up, but it's like I said. I would like to see them get some sports, but
I
I
think
don't
they
know.
need sports if they don't want to be the all around prolific leader in gaming. They need.
I agreed, and also with EA, I know this may seem silly to some people. The sports, drawing a lot of male gamers, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it from a demographic perspective, and they have the Sims franchise that bring in a lot of women, so that you can even appeal to groups like that like certain type of games too. Like I'm just looking at the whole portfolio, right? I'm looking at everything. Then they got that team that did the It Takes Two. They do them games really good with the cooperative gameplay and all that. Won awards, stuff. Very good. That game is doing very well.
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is that they are trying, but I think that Xbox can help them get to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Better. I think they do better than EA does when it comes to that.
I think they're running the problem of being a little bit. They were very creative several years ago with what they were trying to do, but reality, like anything else, kicks in sometimes. Then we went through some turmoil,
Mhm.
and I feel bad for them, right? Because I think they never got to bring to realization what they really wanted to do with their titles and their business. So,
Right.
I mean, I think it'd be a good jumpstart for them. I'm not just looking at it from the Xbox the Xbox perspective. Even
Right.
though you guys know me, I'll rub it in the face of every pony that steps on this podcast. But I mean, for gaming in general, for Xbox to move forward, I think that would be really well.
I agree. I agree. So I think EA is a strong contender, and
I think it's the number one. I should have put them number one, but I'm a
yeah, I really think so. They need the sports. That would be the top thing they would need on that list. But then you also get the Battlefield, and so it's a lot of titles you would get out of that. But yeah, I think they.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. They got
Battlefield. Yeah.
Then you wouldn't have to fight anymore.
No fighting. They dominate in that area.
Well, I mean, even between the Battlefield and the Call of Duty community, like you're brothers now.
Oh yeah, no more
I mean,
arguing over who's better. It's Halo.
I mean, you can talk about yeah, because at that point in time, right, you'll have a lot of people who can just try it out for themselves. So.
Right.
I mean, I would love it. I mean, they'd still get money from me because I'd be buying their $30 thingy.
Yeah, that it would make sense then. Oh my gosh, I think they would do much better with that model.
I don't think people realize like what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass. I mean, it's a great deal. Yes, it is for the individual, but as a whole, man, you and 52 million other people are paying $17 every month.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when they release a game, and then a couple million of you guys are buying something for $30, one time shot. right? And then they still have the chance of selling you the game because you like it so much, and then it goes to $20, and they're like, "Oh, how can they survive with selling at $20?" I was like, "Bro, you just dropped 50 off the jump.
Right.
They're not starving." I mean, and I can appreciate that because some people think it's anti-consumer. I was like, no, it's pro-consumer because it's giving me a choice. I do not have to buy, right? Right now, if I'm hurting for money, I could just cancel my Game Pass.
Right.
I mean, I'll do everything outside of that because I actually love Game Pass or even Netflix, right? But if things got so bad for me, you can cut it off because you can come back.
You can always buy the game if you
Yeah,
want
do
to
that.
and not have to commit to paying every month to get access to the other games. That's old school way, but that's we can always follow. That's what PlayStation is dealing with right now. And they're okay, so we wouldn't die if we had to step away for a little bit. We're not used to it on the Xbox side, but we could live.
Well, the sad thing about it is that is the pony. I mean, sorry, that's the Sony way. That is the Sony way. But why they're hurting is because they don't have any weapon. They can't weaponize it like they normally
Right.
do. But if we look at how their games release, man, there's lulls between the amount of games they release.
Right.
That's why they have to do the AAA thing or the third party thing to
Mhm.
stuff in that things, and they were all about that. And then Microsoft just suck all the air out of the room, right? Because at the end of the day, you need money to do that with third party.
Right.
Right? On top of needing money to do your AAA titles,
Right.
that only million of your 1 million or 1 billion people that own the PlayStation, like only a small fraction of the fan base buys. I mean, it blows my mind.
Right.
I mean, and I think because Microsoft was real about it, or Xbox was real about it, they're able to be in a better position because they realize, like, look, dude, people can tell me all they want to. Recore again, bringing that back up, how much they love the game and yada yada, but they didn't buy it. Right, so they dealt with that from the jump. So kudos to Phil.
I'm looking at the franchises EA would have to
Go
offer.
ahead.
They got Dragon Age. They have. I don't even want to list all the sports games. It's too many. But they got that. They got Medal of Honor. They have Mirror's Edge. That they could pull from, I guess, the IP.
Yeah, Mirror's Edge is awesome.
Do they own Titanfall?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so they would have Titanfall. All right, and let me see Dragon Age.
So the controversy around Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Mass Effect. Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
So, when it comes to EA Play, right, you can play it then. But if you were on Game Pass day one, it can negate all of that. Because contrary to popular belief, there are extremes on both sides when you're talking about the issues, and I'm not.
It is, and I've been noticing the other side having too many extremes. Like they thought that Indiana was going to be like that, and Indiana ain't nothing like that. So
Yeah. But for the average person who doesn't listen to all the noise,
mm-hmm.
it's a great opportunity for your game to have a chance. In fact, a lot of the people who I follow and I actually agree with most of the time,
Right.
They were going against Avowed, right? For reasons, man. Look, the dude was an idiot.
He was that guy put himself into that. That's going to cause controversy if you're talking like that. Yes.
So the people were harping on him, but even those guys said this. They said, "Yeah, but Avowed's in Game Pass, so it'll probably do well."
It will, because you can try the game out and not commit money. You can see for yourself, and then if it's clean, you can go ahead and buy it. It's as simple as that.
And you benefit from that because there are people where this stuff won't bother them.
It won't, yeah.
It won't. And they just want to play the game just for playing a game. So Alakazam, boom, put it in Game Pass. And then the people that like it will stick with it. The people that won't like it, they'll stick with it, and then they might even buy it.
That's
right?
true.
So
Game Pass kind of negates that when you can try something out without committing a lot of money towards it. Well, you're going to have to try some different tactics on that because it's not going to really work.
Mhm. Yeah,
they're not going to just not try it just because you say it's woke.
Some people will try it just because you say it's woke.
Yeah,
there's a lot of hate play. There's a lot of hate watching. That goes
really?
on. Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. Like I know it's weird. Like for me, like some people are like, "Oh, why don't you talk about this anymore?" Because I'm like, at the end of the day, dude, I want to enjoy this. So
Right.
kudos to the guy kudos to the dudes that stand on that are the gatekeepers that stand on that watch.
Right.
I'm not one of those guys. I mean, I
Right.
see something, I don't like it. I kind of talk about it, discuss it. I hope, like Mandalorian was one of those things. Probably one of the best things that Disney produced during Disney Plus with Disney Star Wars. And I was hoping that would go into the other one. Some stuff that succeeded, most did not. And then I moved on. right?
Right.
Because why should I watch this when I could be playing COD, or be playing
Right.
Indiana Jones, or be experiencing Game Pass, or watching the new anime that just came out,
Right.
or cruising with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Mhm.
again, these guys need to realize, and that's where that dude from Evolve really ticked me off. I'm like, bro, you're not the center of the freaking universe,
Right. Right.
right? And what's happening with a lot of consumers, but especially in these fandoms, is this word called apathy, right? Um, a shout out to Young Ripper, because he's the one that did a video on it.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's 100% true. Once people don't, what you want, dude, you rather have people hate on your stuff because at least they're engaged. Once people don't care, once people actually don't care, you're done. Because it
That's
doesn't,
true.
yeah, it doesn't matter. At that point, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yep. Yep.
You could have the best game in the world. When they're done with you, they are done with
Yeah.
you. And you can make a 100 plus game with everything in there that person loved, but they moved on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's I think is something that's big. So what do you think though? Who's your big purchase for Microsoft in 2025?
I look at it from the angle that I would want them to shore up what they need within Game Pass. So, like I said, EA would be on the top of my list. Sega is a strong one though because they bring a lot to the table too with the Japanese games. So that's another thing. Having that in house would be great. Um, I would also say I think they should buy Iron Galaxy, lock them down, and commit them to only making a Killer Instinct games. They can do other games. They can make other studios and branch off and to do other stuff, but they have to have one part of their company dedicated to doing Killer Instinct. They have to have a presence in the fighting arena, and so Killer Instinct will have to be that big franchise that they do that with. And I think right now I hear that they have a contract with them for 10 years or something like that. Lock them people down. Um,
As a
Microsoft.
contract, Sony or Microsoft?
Microsoft.
Oh, it
They
does have a contract with
yeah,
Iron
for
Galaxy.
10
Oh, I
years,
didn't.
I think it's supposed to be up for 10 years. So I think they're working on a Killer Instinct too. I think that's what they're doing. And I think that you want a team because finding a team that can make a good fighter is hard to come back. That's like a diamond in the rough. Lock them down, Xbox. Okay. You should don't let them people breathe another moment after you're able to go in there and acquire them. And so I that would be one that I would shore up with them. I would also like yourself look into South Korea. I would look into a brand new market and make my foothold there. And I know we're talking about acquisitions, but that would mean getting some of these up and coming South Korean gaming publishing or developers and stuff and bringing them in house. Start having a presence there and
Mhm.
start small when they're very affordable and nobody cares, right? That's when you do it. And I think Phil has really a good eye when it comes to talent, like we was talking about with Compulsion. So I would love to see them do that and go into South Korea. And I don't know what games are there though, so I can't really tell you what developer uh they should go with or what publishing company they should go with. I don't know enough about South Korean gaming to say that, but I would just say that I would love to see them there because I think that's like such a fresh market. They should just be right now. They should be moving in and locking that down.
Mhm.
Also, while they're there, make it to where they have local translations and all that stuff because you want to start building up with the games that you come out with that you have localization of your games in South Korea. You want to do that, and also for China. Those are the China, Japan, and South Korea need to do localization. So you want to have president. Now, I would say I don't think that Xbox can own a Chinese game company because of just China as a whole. And so, oh, League of Legends is interesting.
Yeah, it's huge.
I did not know that. League of Legends is big in South Korea. See, I don't know what their market is like there. Like we all know that Japan they just like the mobile, but I don't know if South Korea is like that. See, I got to look into what they're into more with gaming there. But I do know that Xbox needs to have a big presence there. They need to go before they get the way like with Japan, I just think there's not a lot of wiggle room for Xbox there. But I think South Korea is a whole different animal, and I would love to see them there.
Yeah,
So
that's why they teamed up. Microsoft teamed up with Samsung.
okay.
And even
So
the South Korean guys were saying maybe Microsoft should outsource hardware to Samsung.
right, yeah. Give them some money, have a deal with them. It's good. They know the market. I think that will work.
That's a
And
very respected popular brand.
right. So League of Legends though, that's interesting. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I would do. But I can't be more precise with South Korea because I don't have enough knowledge on that. But that I do believe that that would be huge because I do believe there's some great developers coming out of South Korea. And so I would love to see that. And so let's see, is there anything else I think they need to show up? The Japanese game, well, just the Asian games as a whole, I think they need to show up. And then EA for the sports, Iron Galaxy for the fighter, and WB. And the reason why I think WB should be included in that and try to buy the rights to the IP superhero games, they would never be outclassed again. That would be another area that they could shore up so that no matter what deals Sony is making with Marvel, they can have DC and they can then control, unlike you know PlayStation where they cutting their leg off just to get the rights to the game so they can make it only to make a little bit of profit and stuff. That won't be Microsoft. They could be a lot smarter with it and own the IP. And when I say IP, let's say WB doesn't want to give up all the rights of the IP. Just take the gaming rights that they can do whatever they want with the gaming rights. So like, but they got to have some of them rights. They can't like they just can't take the studios and not have the games, right? They just can't. They would have to have either because you know how Sony has the gaming rights to Spider-Man because well they were leased out the gaming rights by Marvel, right? But imagine if they owned that right. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I so like if WB said, okay, we want to keep the movie right so we can just keep making movies. Say Xbox not interested in doing it. Let's say they're okay with letting that go, right? They say, okay, you can keep the movie rights. If we ever want to collab one day, we can do that. We get priority. Put that in your contract that you get priority, right? And then you can just say, but we want to keep the gaming rights. So if it comes to making video games, we have full rights to the video games. So that's what they would have to do with WB, I think, to make it reasonable for them to be willing to at least let go of some of the rights, right? They have to though, because I don't think Xbox will buy them unless they do that. And I would tell them not to do it unless they do that. So yeah, WB for the superhero games, because that is a huge market. It's whether we like it or not, it is. At the same time, develop your own stuff. You also have Prototype. For the love of all that's holy, make Prototype. I've said this. I love that franchise. Please work on Prototype. But it's not enough. They would need more. So that's why I say WB. And then EA, Sega, Iron Galaxy, and whatever's coming out of South Korea.
Well, I kind of want to jump on a couple of things you said.
Okay.
But for the things for South Korea, from my thing, I agree. I 100% agree with what you say. But for me, I come more from a pop culture perspective when it comes to South Korea. Why I think Xbox needs to get involved, because Xbox wants to get into the whole of Asia, to include Southeast Asia, right? And so I always say this on the channel: South Korean culture is very popular. It reminds me a lot of what Japan was in the 80s and 90s,
right,
with their popular culture. So that's where South Korea is. And through that you can have inroads into China, into Vietnam, into Japan, right? Because there's this sharing of culture that's going on between all of them. If you look at some of the anime that's being produced, man, it's being done on South Korean.
It is. They have the animation houses and stuff in South Korea that does it.
Yeah. So like Solo Leveling, even though it's anime, right? It's based off of a manhwa, which is the South Korean version of.
That's
manhwa.
actually where I first saw Solo Leveling. It was in the manhwa. Yeah, I did. Before it became anything like that. Yeah.
So their movies, their music, and their television shows. Again, I think Xbox is on the right path to be more well-rounded as far as, and pop culture is a part of that. That's why I was talking about them doing more Comic-Cons, stuff like that.
Hey, hold on for a second. Zeke is saying bye. He said, great show, Sega Forever, Dear 4568, and for a few Sega man.
Yeah,
I have to go. Peace. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Zink. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Zane. Appreciate it. We're gonna wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah,
'Cause
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I have to go at least very soon. So
Yeah. But to your point,
Mhm.
that's to me is it's kind of a Trojan horse, I know, but that's the thing because I want Microsoft to do that,
yeah.
and they know this, and we've seen it in the documentaries. The whole purpose of Xbox being created was because they didn't want Sony to take over the living rooms.
Right, exactly.
Right? So it's time for them to go on the offensive, and I think right now is the perfect time, especially the economy changes, not just
Exactly.
for us but for around the world.
Yeah.
And so South Korea is that Trojan horse for me to get into the other countries.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But we're on the same page that they need to be in South Korea.
Oh, definitely. I don't disagree with anything you say.
Yep.
I have more nefarious purposes. I'll be honest with you. And they do have a lot of young and aspiring developers out there, and I think
Developers.
it would be good for South Korea as well as
And
Xbox.
that's the indie scene that you was talking about.
Yeah.
They can start nurturing that indie scene and then like really getting their games out. No, I'm telling you, that's where they need to go.
Yeah, that's what I hope. I hope that as well. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of doing that now. I purchased there's that Gungrave game,
Oh,
and
Gungrave, I bought that.
well, the reason I bought it when it first came out is because there's
Yeah.
a Korean voiceover.
Oh, okay.
I try playing that game and then having the Korean voiceover do it. It's a
I have
totally
to try that. Yeah, I got
Yes,
Gungrave. I
it's,
bought that. Yeah.
it's awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is like it's like I'm playing an actual movie
Wow.
because the
Yeah.
action, right, and the commentary that goes on.
Yeah.
Man, you put that you have the South Korean voiceover and it's amazing. I mean, I'm a fan. You guys know I'm biased, right? I'm a fan of their movies and
Yeah.
television shows.
My husband is too. He watch all that stuff.
But we'll give it a try and tell me what you think.
Okay,
And
I have to. Yeah, I haven't played it in a bit because I had to put it down.
yeah,
But I didn't think anybody else played it. I'd never heard nobody talking about it.
Well, Hebot, of course, and so Hebot was telling me about it, and I knew I was gonna try it. But
Yeah,
I'm telling you, once I saw South Korean, I was like, oh, I wonder what
it
that
was
sounds
fun
like.
to me. The game is fun. So yeah, I picked it up. I forgot when I picked it up though. Yeah,
Oh,
but
it was a couple of years, I think.
yeah, it was a while. Yeah.
Cygnus says there's Korean Xbox account that always companion Xbox localization. Oh yeah. Complains, right?
Oh, complaint. Yeah, and they have every reason to, and that's something that Xbox has to work on if they want to exist there. And they got a lot of work to do in that area.
I mean, I understand it's considered a small market, but again, if you're blazing trails, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, oh, you bought it too, Sis? No, he got Gungrave too.
Well,
All
if you like Korean manga, if you like Korean TV shows like I do, the K dramas, try doing it in Korean, Shinzo. It's subtitled, but the voiceover is in Korean. Well, Hangul. I'm sorry, Hangul is it speaking Korean? That's what they're doing. So, as soon as I got that, I was hooked. I was like, all right, put my money down.
Yeah.
Right? And they've had other games from South Korea in the store, so I mean, you got to kind of hunt for them. They have one game in Game Pass that I actually bought, and I bought it.
What was it called?
I can't remember. It's like a library something.
Oh, okay.
And it's a more story driven type game. That's why I bought it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I'm all on board with what you're saying. Again, my purposes are a bit nefarious.
Okay. So what did you think about my other picks? Like I did pick a studio when I said Iron Galaxy, and again, I was looking for what I think should shore up.
Well, I 100% agree with you on Iron Galaxy, and the reason I say that is because fighting games they've got a resurgence and they're actually really good.
Exactly, and this is the time that Xbox can come in.
So if they're gonna if they're gonna bring a Killer Instinct 2, they gotta come correct.
They do, but we know that Iron Galaxy can bring it because they did the last one. So
yeah, so that's why I agree with you, because I mean, if you've been playing, like if you look at what happened with Guilty Gear, King of Fighters,
I bought Guilty Gear too. So
even the crappiest Street Fighter of all time, which was that one they released several years ago.
Yeah.
They even improved that game, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's on sale, and I actually might check it out. But I was watching people's clips, and I actually did buy a joystick.
I done bought so many Street Fighter games. Yeah, I don't have that one though. I have to check that out, I guess.
And then of course, like I want to do a video. I'll probably do one later, because I think I might have some days off. But Virtual Fighter is going to have the new Virtual Fighters coming out. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, so Capcom is having a resurgence across the board.
They are.
Just with the
They
fighting GT.
absolutely are. I got to pick up that Konishigamia when that thing gets ready to leave. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
I like that game a lot. That's an
it's awesome.
underrated game.
It's
Yeah,
an
it's
awesome.
fun.
It reminds me of the Capcom of old.
It does. It has that old classic Capcom feel. Exactly.
100%. And so that's what I mean. It's like you want to be there, right? If I had to tell Phil anything, I'm like, okay, so you want Xbox to be there. You want Xbox to be that moving forward, right? To be the man, right? You have to be there. You have to be. You can't like I'm not saying that the fighting genre is like every other gaming genre. Most of it's niche, right? But when you put them all together, right, and then that's how you form and forge. You know, to Sony's credit, that's what they did.
Okay.
They, you know that will give you that brand power that Xbox has, but I mean we could definitely improve on it.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, sorry, the chat's blowing. Let me.
Oh yeah. Let's address the chat real
Shinzo
quick.
says, "Yeah, I love K dramas and they make some great horror movies too." So try it, Shinzo, man. Try Gungrave with the Korean voiceover, man. I love that dude. I feel like I'm actually in one of their gritty K drama movies. Yeah, like it's awesome, dude. I love it. It enhances it for me. Maybe not for everybody, but Pepe Le Pew says, "What's your thoughts on Ananta and Neverness to Everness?" Ananta, why does that? Ananta.
That's-
Oh, that's the open world. Everybody's comparing it to GTA, but in anime form.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Is that what that called? I didn't know the name of it though. I saw it. I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people reacting to that.
Well,
That looks good though. It
I
looks
mean,
fun.
it definitely. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think Microsoft should buy them right away.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. We're on the same page with that. Yeah, like snatch them people before they get out there.
Yeah, Pepe, the buzz on that was huge. That's how I found out about it.
Yeah.
I mean, when YouTube reactors go outside of their norms to watch something,
Yeah.
that says a lot,
Yep.
right? And I'm pretty sure Microsoft. Look, kudos to Microsoft, dude. They got their finger on the pulse.
They do. They're pretty good with that. They unlike Sony as in some purchases, they made pretty good purchases and good decisions in that area. So
Oh my gosh, Judah. Okay, I'm getting to you, Judah. I just saw this coming. I'm still waiting on the Doki B Korean game. They suddenly disappeared.
me too,
Yeah,
Cygnus. I'm still waiting on that. That looks so promising.
Cygnus, you know what shocked me? E-Rock did a video on that, and I was like, whoa, E-Rock. I mean, when it reaches somebody like E-Rock,
Yeah, then it's done something. It's accomplished something. Yeah,
and it touches. And again, I like to use this all the time, but I'll say it. I mean, it checks all the boxes.
it does. Yep.
You want to have a global appeal. This is the game.
That'd be a great one for them to pick up too if they could.
Yeah. And
Because I can imagine with the kind of support Microsoft could give a company like that, man, that game could really have some long legs.
yeah. I mean, there's some cultural things, culture clashing.
Mhm.
Definitely, but Microsoft, man, I mean, they're not new to this game.
Right.
So, I think they would be in the best position, unlike other companies that could be heavy-handed.
Yeah.
But with Dokkaebi, man, I mean, this what made me get way more vocals when I saw the trailer for this. Because
Oh,
I was already
man.
talking about this stuff for years, but when I saw
Right.
Dokkaebi, I mean, I wanted to.
I was blown away. Yeah, I was like, oh man.
And then Shinzo says, I hope we get to Killer Instinct 2. Killer Instinct last gen is amazing. I'm also happy when we got the next gen upgrade for it too.
Me
Yeah,
too. Me too.
Yeah. I'll still fire it up every now and then, Shinzo.
Yeah,
when
but I
when
own
I-
that stuff too, so I got Killer Instinct. But I'm telling you, I feel that they're making it too. But I would feel much better. I would sleep better at night if they owned Iron Galaxy. They need to lock them down. They just need to lock them down.
Yeah, I know. The only problem I have with Killer Instinct 2 was those collectibles, man. I think they should have put more behind that. But
Well,
again,
they
it was a
might
different time.
now. I
Yeah.
think it's a different. You're right. It's different now. So I think they probably are going to do a lot more than what they did with Killer Instinct last time. So
Let's hope so.
yeah.
Okay, let's get to Judah because this is the one. Should Killer Instinct 2 be exclusive to Xbox? No, Judah.
No. 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 If
I
they want to compete with the other fighters, they have to be everywhere.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said I'm gonna have a hard time with this.
Yeah, they
I
have
want
to
to say yes. I want to say yes because I feel a certain way about Killer Instinct and what Microsoft and Xbox have done for Killer Instinct. But of course, Dea is the smarter one on the panel, and the voice of reason, and she's absolutely right. You can't. I don't know, man. Fighting games right now, they're just at a certain point. It's the melding of art style and gaming, right? And
Hmm.
they got to bring it, and if they're going to bring it, I'm afraid that I mean,
They're competing against Street Fighter,
yes,
Mortal Kombat,
yeah, yeah,
Tekken. They're competing against the big ones. They need to bring their A game.
yeah,
They have to be everywhere. They're fighting for the same type of gamer. So they
yeah.
got to bring up an excellent Killer Instinct, fight for them same gamers, and then show the world when they come out big. That's my hopes for Killer Instinct too.
Yeah. See, so again, right? That's why she's the first lady of Xbox, first lady of chat, because that is what they should do.
Yes.
But for me, if I'm being honest, I would prefer to keep it on Xbox. But it's not probably it's to everything that Dea said, and on top of that, it probably won't grow any type of market. I 100% agree with you. On that.
Yeah.
That's more of a personal thing. That's like how you see Sega up here. It actually should be Steam, EA, and Sega. But I just can't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if Steam was off the table, like you said,
Yeah. Then
and if
what
I'm
would
being honest, then EA would be number one, and Sega would be number
EA? Yes. People be like overlooking that when I say EA. I say that all the time, but EA is a
Mhm.
big get because the sports. I'm telling you, it's big.
And for those of you guys that don't understand what the $1 billion IP means, it means more games for you at the end of the day.
It
just,
does
just to
absolutely.
simplify what you
It's not just wanting to snatch games for the sake of snatching them.
yeah,
They're securing their portfolio when it comes to Game Pass,
yeah,
and also it frees them up. That money helps them keep everything going so that they can invest in new games or old titles and bringing them back and things like that. They can do all of that.
and that's what people are beginning to realize with these other corporations because they have that one big, they have that, that big missile, right? And that missile is their AAA game, and if it doesn't sell, these guys go out of business, and that's sad,
Right,
right? And it's sad. And I'm saying I'm not celebrating that. I'm saying I think it's sad,
right,
right? Because the market changed and everything changed, and these games take years to make, and so they got caught up in it.
right.
So yeah, Shinzo Elite, I will definitely check that out. Thanks. Didn't notice it had that dub. Yeah, dude, I was that's what made me buy it. Shinzo. That's how much of a sycophant I am for Korean dramas and Korean content, the television shows and stuff like that. OMG, I had forgotten about Doki V. Hope we hear
Yeah,
something.
Doki V. Yeah, it's been a while since they talked about it. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's big on 2025, so we'll see, man. I think this might be the year of surprises.
Woo! If that comes out. Oh,
Hey,
hi,
what's up, 100?
100.
What's up, bro? What's up, my man? Um, Yeah, that's one of the reasons I didn't do the podcast last night. I wasn't sure who was there. I got caught up in stuff. But I forgot that 100 has this Saturday.
100 has this show. Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just do it Sunday. Cygnus says fighting games in general is too niche to be exclusive.
I agree.
Multi-plat fighting games is selling like 1, 2, 3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cygnus is right. And so, like I said, now usually those people like to buy multiple types. They don't stick with one type of fighting game.
Yeah.
They play lots of them. But if Killer Instinct is going to be among that, they have to be on that level. That's the main thing.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Again, Cygnus, that is the right and it's the right way. It's the right way of thinking.
Yep.
But I'm an Xbot, and so sometimes my Xbot is
Your inner Xbot come
Yeah.
out. Huh?
Screw it all. 100 said, I don't want Microsoft to buy nobody big anymore.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, me
Nobody
too,
can
100.
give me a good reason. I've heard so many people say that, and I'm like, what's your reason for that? Tell me why. If they have to fill out the catalog of Game Pass to fill it with games they don't cover, which is a smart thing to do if they have a service, why can't they buy anybody big? And if it's somebody big, okay, so be it. Like a EA would fill their coffers with sports games. They have a lot of different types of sport games too. They have like snowboarding games. They have like football. They have college football. They got basketball. They got all of it. So like if you can get that in one go, They
Oh,
have
okay, that's
enough companies already to make new IPs, new game. All those companies can't make a sports game or make. They don't have that type of expertise. They still have to expand.
oh, I think he just double entered.
Oh, it's double. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
See that doesn't it doesn't make sense from a business perspective. If you still have holes in your catalog, you're not looking at oh it's big or something. You're looking at what do I need to fill my catalog. Like I've heard that from a lot of people, but nobody can tell me from a business perspective why they should not do it. Like I understand his sentiment. Like from a consumer sentiment, you're saying, "Oh, we have enough. You know, it's fine." It's but you know what? Other people are not going to stop buying. They're not. Tencent is not going to stop buying. You're going to still have other people expanding where they can.
Excuse me.
And Xbox doesn't have a complete portfolio when it comes to gamepad. They still have missing elements there. They don't have enough Japanese games or Asian style games, if you want to put it that way. They don't have, that they own. Like, should they really rely on other people for that, or should they have some studios in their own wheelhouse that they can use to do that? So if they bought a Sega, it doesn't have to be Sega. It could be somebody else. But if they bought a Sega, then they at least meet that need within their own. Because I'm gonna tell you this 100 for sure. Xbox wants to be like Nintendo in that they don't need nobody. They don't want to need anybody else for anything. So no matter how much Sony money has or whatever, they want to be able to survive on their own. If they money had it everything, they still be able to get by. I'm telling you, that's where Xbox wants to be. And in order to do that, they need to cover all these different ranges. That's why I said they should buy Iron Galaxy, because these people know how to make a darn good fighter, So they have to fill in their portfolio though, because they have a service that needs to cover different things so they can draw in people who would want to sign up.
Can I read Cygnus's and answer real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
Regulators would see it as a red flag and would look at the past acquisitions with ABK, ZeniMax, and ask why they keep buying on top of getting to massive publishers.
And they would tell them that they still don't own as much as Tencent.
Yeah, so that's the point I was going to make. Cygnus.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to snap fast. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It's cool. Yeah. Like to today's point, there's that, right? And then the other thing about it is, again, people forget how big gaming is, right? And gaming is not like a one and done. Gaming has a lot of multiple parts of the industry that people are creating and making stuff, right? Like if that was the case, then you wouldn't have Steam, right? With Valve and Steam, right? So you have Netflix trying to get into it. You have Apple, who actually has a monopoly, right, on mobile gaming with their mobile store, right? So there's all of that has to be taken into consideration. But at the end of the day, there's the one thing that I hope a lot of these regulators. I can't speak on Europe, Cygnus, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't know about the European Union, but I definitely know in England right now, right? But that's them, right? But all I know is for the U.S. right now, things are changing, and it's about growing it. It's not just about protecting it; it's also about growing it, and that's what those acquisitions would mean. Right? And for me personally, as a pro-business kind of guy, competition is good, right? Competition will breed other people and it'll open up avenues for other people to come in because there's still room for growth.
A lot, and people don't realize how much of the market Tencent actually takes up in gaming. They don't even know, and and Microsoft is nowhere near as big as them.
Tencent has they have a power up from the jump, dude. The size of their the country.
Yeah,
right? The people that they have over there, even when the economy's not doing well over there, they still have numbers.
Right. Yeah.
So and because that's the other thing that we rolled into with consolidation and how that's evil. And I'm like, no, it's not.
I mean, it's a balance to all things. I get their concerns. I understand it. Microsoft, look, what we're saying is smart purchases, like purchases where you see they need something, right? They're feeling a need, right? If they're feeling a need, in my opinion, they should have every right to buy what they need. Now, once they meet that need, then I'm with you on that. Okay, you can stop Microsoft. You got everything you need, but they don't have everything they need. If somebody wants to argue with me on that, we can go at it because they do not have everything they need. I guess they're still working that out.
I guess the reason I'm not concerned about it is, this isn't like the oil baron days anymore, where you have a collection of super rich families that are buying up everything. These are not those days. In fact, I think it's harder for businesses, right? Because everything is so out there now.
Right. Right.
We live in a 24/7 life cycle slash news cycle. These companies that look at the blowback on DEI that's going on right now,
Yeah.
and some of it to a fault, right? Some of this stuff is going far to the other side where it's killing actually good content. So I'm not worried about that at all, saying this, to be honest with you. I mean, the way people are now, the way so how jacked and plugged in we are now. You know what I'm saying? The businesses have to be fluid. And that's the way I look at it. And if they fail, they fail. Let the market decide. Let the consumer decide. And I always believe in the power of the consumer, because again, I can always walk away. But to Dia's point, like that's why I don't worry about Microsoft, especially because if Microsoft does anything wrong, dude, there's a whole ton of people waiting to jump down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. That's why we're saying don't put your stuff over there. Don't put your stuff over on Sony because you have your fan base that will not like that.
Right.
And when all the haters and people that want to see you fall and see you fail come after you, we're not going to say anything.
No.
Try to warn you.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I see your points, Ignis. Please, I'm not trying to dismay anything.
Yeah, we understand. I understand Hunter's points too. I definitely get it. I just nobody just has ever been able to tell me why they should just stop right now. Like nobody has really given me anything that as a business person I would say, "Oh yeah, I agree." No, I don't. I still see holes in their portfolio that needs to be filled. And
I just want them to try. If they fail, they fail. I mean,
right.
but
Well, yeah, and by the way, it's not like they're buying everything. They are making studios too. They got that Elsewhere studios. Some of the studios they already have, like Playground, we was talking about, split up into 3 studios. So they are growing, but it's not enough. It's still not enough. I know it's hard for people to understand that. It's still not enough though. They still have to they need certain things in their portfolio. That's all I'm saying, but it's just not enough right now. They're getting there. They're getting there, but they're not quite there yet.
I'll say I think maybe because everybody thinks of Xbox as the console. So remember now.
Oh,
Xbox
yeah, they're
already
not
been
looking
working.
at it as a global kind of publisher type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, with what they've been doing with PC, what they will be doing with mobile.
But the thing is, Microsoft puts their games just about everywhere now.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the problem? Everybody's still getting the games and all this stuff. So, I don't understand what is the problem. They're not the ones raising the prices. Sony is.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the issues are. To me, I just don't see it. If the regulators have those concerns, they can just say, hey, you can't be raising the prices and all this stuff. If you're dominant in this particular thing, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't see it. I can't see it from a business perspective, but maybe it's just me.
Cygnus said I think they could only. Oh, hey, welcome back, Sega Man, brother.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey.
We're just going to read these two, and then you can give your thoughts, and then we'll call it a show.
Sure.
I think they could only buy studios, but not publishers. Oh, that's a good point.
They can buy the studio. I don't care. They don't have to do publish. If the studios meet that need, like I said with Iron Galaxy, that is a studio.
Mm-hmm.
Then get the studio. I don't care. As long as they're meeting the need that they need in Game Pass to cover all these different games. They need Iron Galaxy because Iron Galaxy has done the past Killer Instinct game, did a very good job. And it's not a lot of studios that know how to do good fighting games. That talent is very rare. So they need to get them,
Yeah.
So I don't see the harm in it.
Cygnus says Tencent owns incremental stocks on various publishers, not owned it entirely. That's why they get away with it. Oh no, I understand that, Cygnus, but they do have a pull and an influence.
They do.
So.
They do. And also Tencent is different in that they act as only a publisher. They kind of like they don't own a console and all this stuff, so they're different than Xbox from that perspective. They're not a one-to-one to Xbox.
Cygnus says the problem comes one company, Microsoft, being the mothership of massive gaming publishers, which is a red flag to regulators. The pushback on me for that, Cygnus, is that they could fail though, right? Just because they own one company, they become that massive mothership. They're still not indestructible. Right? I believe in a risk reward type of economy. Right. So they're taking a risk because they're going to invest the time and the money.
Exactly.
And for some instances, that's why you saw all the people that they were looking at, but it just didn't work out for various reasons.
And also, Xbox tend to have a tendency to go after damaged companies that are not doing good.
Mhm.
So, they may continue that trend. I don't know, but that's what that every company they've acquired were in some type of situation like that, whether they were part of Xbox Game Studios or they were I don't know, some of the studios they created like Playground and stuff, but they mostly go after studios that are already in trouble. So I don't know what would they prefer. Would they prefer that they disband the company or something? I don't know, but you know,
Activision, right?
yeah, Activision sure would have been gone because they were in bad shape, really bad shape with under Bobby Kotick. So
He's about to get the crap suit out of him,
yeah,
removing that person.
yeah. I
Actually,
think I think they would have been broken up. I think they would have broke them up and then sold them piecemeal like that. That's what I think would have happened if they didn't acquire them.
yeah, they would have had to broke him up because they would have got sued into oblivion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They had lawsuits and stuff coming. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I don't know who would have wanted to take on that big old nightmare. I don't know.
And there we go, Microsoft. Here
Yep.
I come to save the day.
Yep.
So I
They,
agree with you. They
yeah.
have a proclivity for that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so cool. Sega Man, dude, we'll wrap it up with you. Um, we were talking
Well,
about the purchases.
I have to 100% agree with Dea. I don't know what it is, Sega Forever. I do appreciate some people's opinions in the chat, but I mean, I hope it just don't seem like they have that same smoke for Sony. You know, they don't never have that same smoke for Sony, and they try to damage control. Oh, no, it's not about that. It's like every single time you have a discussion about something that has to do with Microsoft or them buying studios or buying things up, in reality, okay. I mean, I don't know if you guys really understand this, and I'm not trying to be mean to you guys, but it's not hurting Microsoft buying more, okay. It just isn't. The more you buy, the more you make, and also they're saving people's jobs also. I mean, I don't know if you guys forget about shit like that, but a lot of these companies that are bellying up and might need help, the reason why Activision went to Microsoft because they knew Microsoft could save them and keep jobs. I mean, you guys seem to forget about these things. Your mother, sick, whatever your name is, your mom, your family has a job, right? Everybody in your family probably has a job, okay? If the job they work for was going out of business and their company comes along and saves your mom or dad's job, okay, they're going to still be working. They're going to still be able to support you, okay, and support the family household. All right. Microsoft is saving jobs. Okay. When they purchase these companies and things like that. But people seem to forget about that. Okay. It's not about them just buying everything up. There's other things that come along with it. They're saving people's jobs. They're putting bread and butter on their table. All right. At the end of the day, that's what they're really doing also, but nobody never talks about that. It's not just about video games. You need to reevaluate yourself when you come on here and you start talking, okay? Because it's not just about them buying up studios and doing this and that. They're also saving people's jobs, brother. All right? Keeping their medical benefits going on because in today's society, bro, it's really hard to survive out there now, isn't it? There's people that can't even keep their goddamn house. There's even people that can't even pay their rent. It's saving people's jobs also. Microsoft is saving people's jobs. It's not just about gaming. It's about everything else. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about also. All right? Nobody's being hurt by them buying other companies. No, who's being hurt by it? Who's honestly being hurt by it? What, Sony? Are they being hurt by it? Sony needs, in my opinion, to be honest with you, they need to buy more companies.
I agree with that.
They need to do more things. Sickness, but you don't talk about that. And I'm not trying to get on just sickness, all right? But you guys come in here and you never talk about the things that Sony need to be doing as a gaming company because there's a lot that they're not doing. There's a whole lot that Sony is not doing for their fan base, but nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to talk and pick on Microsoft and Xbox 24/7. But you will not go out there and you will not nitpick or talk about what Sony needs to do and what Nintendo needs to do. Because right now, Sony and Nintendo are doing absolutely nothing right now. There is nothing new coming out really on both systems. They keep making remake games for people that spend $70 on video games. And like Dea said, they're the ones that keep raising the prices. It's not Microsoft and Xbox. It's the other companies. Nintendo stuff never goes down. Sony stuff, yeah, you might get some sales, but you still got to pay that full price. You dig what I'm saying? Microsoft is saving gaming right now. I don't care what you guys think about that. That's what they're doing. They're saving gaming right now, man. Give them some respect, man. Give them some praise because that's what they're doing, man. It's not about no fanboy shit. This is what they're doing, man. You know what I mean? This is what they're doing, bro. It's not about being a corporate slave for Microsoft and, being a corporate slave for Xbox or whatever. I mean, they're saving people's jobs, man, when they buy these companies too. Y'all got to think about that too. It's not just about buying every video game company up and trying to destroy other companies. Microsoft sickness helps Sony, dude. They try to help your company out. And you guys still don't support and buy the games, but y'all don't never talk about that. You don't buy the games. You do not support the IPs. The only thing you do is buy or you play free-to-play games or you buy NBA 2K. I don't know how many times that I keep saying this shit all the time. That's all you guys do. Yes, there is PlayStation guys out there that will buy a PS5, that will support Spider-Man, that will support The Last of Us, different games like that are their IP, okay? But that's not enough, okay? Those games are not enough to keep Sony afloat, my guy. You know, making remakes is not enough to keep Sony afloat, my guy, because people are going to get tired of buying remakes, all right? And there's no don't damage control it either, because they're not putting nothing new to it at all. They might put a coat of paint on it with the Pro, but that is it. There's nothing new about the goddamn game. And you should not have to pay another $70 for remakes. And a lot of these Sony fans are really starting to realize it and getting out of their denial stage. And they're getting sick and tired of what Sony's doing right now. And you're going to feel it, brother. Believe me when I tell you, they're going to feel it. It's coming. All right? It really is. They need to put more games on PC. Okay? Matter of fact, you need to put all your games on PC. Okay? You need to broaden your horizons. Sony, as a corporation, as a gaming corporation, they need to broaden their horizons. If they want to stay afloat and stay in the game with Microsoft, big baby, that's what they're going to have to do. That's what they're going to have to do to stay relevant. All right? Seriously, Nintendo has nothing to worry about. Let's keep it a buck right now, real quick, before we wrap it up. Let's keep it a buck. Nintendo don't have shit to worry about. You know why? Because their fans are fucking dedicated.
That is true. That is true.
They buy their shit all the time. They can buy Mario Kart Remastered 26 or whatever. They always keep it a buck with Nintendo. Nintendo has nothing to worry about. Nothing. If a company goes away, sickness, it's going to be Sony. It's not going to be Microsoft, and it's not going to be Nintendo. All right, I'm just keeping it a buck with you, G. All right, I have a PlayStation 4. All right, so I'm not just talking smack. I have PlayStation products, bro. I collect them. All right, I have a PS3. I have a PS2. I have a PS1. I have a PS Vita. I have a PSP, and I have a PS4. So you can't say that I don't like Sony games because there is some games that I do like, and so does Ebot. All right? That's the real deal, bro. It's not about them, oh, well, they shouldn't do this. And I understand 100, what he's saying. I understand what 100's saying because this ain't to 100. I get what 100 is saying, my brother 100. All right? But nobody can never talk about what Sony's doing wrong right now and what they should be doing for gamers. I'm talking about real Sony gamers, man, because they are out there. There might not be a lot because I think there's more trolls than Sony gamers. I really believe that, okay? But they're getting tired of it also. Like that dude that did the video that they're picking on now. He was a PlayStation fan. Now he's an Xbox dude. His wife bought him an Xbox Series X. Now he's an Xbox dude. And he explains why, but everybody's picking on him and calling him out of his name and shit and trying to denigrate the brother. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he wants to do, he has that right. You know what I'm saying? Because he chooses an Xbox now. Maybe it's better for him. You know what I mean? It depends on how he feels about it. You know what I mean? Like if me, Dan, Sega Forever said this will never happen. But what if we said, well, you know what? You know, Microsoft is just not doing it for us, man. You know, it's just not enough. You know, I don't know why I'm gonna go over to Sony. I'm gonna go with Sony, man. But that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. Because Microsoft has the money sickness, has the money to save companies, bro, and keep stuff at a low price. You know why, Sid? Because they have the money. Sony doesn't. That's why they're raising prices, bro. Because they don't have the money like Microsoft, my guy. They don't. That's why they can stay that way.
Sega man, so you're basically saying because Microsoft has more money and they have the ability to do this, they're keeping the prices steady. Because they're finding ways that they can earn money, but they're also making content and they're keeping prices low, like the services, for instance, and you know their games like Hellblade 2, for example, came out. It wasn't at like $50 or something. It wasn't even $70 to get Hellblade 2 if you wanted to buy it, right? So they're trying to keep the prices reasonable. So they are helping the industry. So I guess if a person has a problem with them acquiring, you have to look at everything that they're doing and not one thing.
Yep. And you know what, too, Dea? The problem with everybody, too, is it's the 2013 effect. Ever since 2013, and we all were there. Sega Forever, everybody, we all were there. Any little thing that Microsoft did, they ridiculed them about it. When they heard about they might raise the price of Game Pass and all that, they ridiculed the hell out of them, and they kept it the way it was because they got ridiculed so bad. You got to understand something. These companies, it's expensive to make games today. It's very expensive to make games today, all right? Things are going to go up eventually, all right? But Microsoft can afford to keep it at a decent price longer than I believe than Sony and Nintendo can. I really believe that because they have the money to back it up. But if they were to raise Game Pass, it's still worth the money. It's still worth the money because you're getting the value for your buck with Ultimate Game Pass. You are. You're getting the value of your buck, man. I don't know how many times we got to keep telling you guys this. When you go to PlayStation, what is it, Plus, Asparagus, whatever the fuck that's called, you're not saving any money, really. It's garbage. I hear from people, brother Sega Forever, that are with Sony, all right, that tried that out and said it is garbage, that it is whack. Ultimate Game Pass is better to them. They had it because they own PlayStations also. You don't get day-and-date games. That's the biggest problem. You're not getting day-and-date games in there. You're not going to get the new fucking Spider-Man in the PlayStation Asparagus or whatever, Spartacus. You're not going to get it in there. You're not going to get the new Last of Us if it ever comes out. You know, all these games, you're not going to get them in there. You're going to pay $70. You're not going to get them in there. You're never going to see them in there. If they decide to do it, that's fine. But for right now, they have never talked about it or thought about doing anything like that by putting their number one IPs in there, like God of War. If there was a brand new God of War coming out right now, Dea and Sega Forever, you can fucking believe you're paying $70 for that game. You're not going to get that in their copycat Game Pass. You're not going to get it. You're paying that money regardless, all right? You're going to pay that $70 plus tax for the new God of War, all right? If we get the new Halo, the new Gears, Forza, Fable, whatever, we don't have to go out and pay $70. We have Game Pass. We can go out and buy it and own it later. We can play it on Game Pass until we're ready to go out and buy it, maybe see if it goes on sale, and buy it then. But we're still supporting them by buying it because we eventually buy it because we buy twice. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of diehard Xbox dudes like myself buy games twice. I buy a digital copy, all right, sometimes, and I'll buy a physical copy sometimes because I can preserve it. That's how I am. That's how me and He-Bot are, I believe. You know what I mean? Or I can play it on Game Pass right there. Let's say I like Forza Horizon, the new Forza Horizon that's out now, right?
Mhm.
5. I have
Five.
it there, but it's in the shrink wrap. I just play it on Game Pass because I'm a collector also. So it's still in a shrink wrap. I got it when it first came out, day
Right.
one. Never
Right.
opened it.
Yeah.
So that's how I am. All right. But to wrap things up, brother Sega Forever and Dea, they never ever talk about the problems with these other companies because these other companies are doing them wrong. I don't care what anybody says. They're coming out making videos about it now. They're coming out and doing podcasts about it now, how it's bull crap, how the PlayStation 5 Pro is very expensive like that, $700, and there's no new IP to show for it. And you can't damage control that. I don't want to hear it. You play Call of Duty on it, that's not a new IP. All right? It's not a new IP. It's not Sony's new IP. It's not. It's a multi-plat. So, I mean, I'm not going to pay $700 for a PlayStation 5 to play Call of Duty 6 when I can play it on an Xbox. On Game Pass, not to pay $70. You see what I'm saying? You get different things with Xbox. You get choices on what you want to do, but you don't get that with PlayStation, man. You just don't. You just don't, man. You know what I mean? And I'm just so sick and tired of everybody always ridiculing Xbox and Xbox should be doing this and Xbox should be doing that. Okay, in my opinion, they're doing enough. They're doing enough with Ultimate Game Pass. And like I said, we don't have to worry about that, man. We're eating good over here, bro. We are. We're eating good over here, man. We get brand new IP in there day one, and we can decide to buy it later, play it now. You guys don't have that over there with PlayStation. You know what I mean? I think that's why a lot of Xbox people are like, man, you know, a lot of them say, well, I just bought a PS5 for their right. That's it. That's all they buy it for, and then it collects dust. Everybody I know that has one, unlimited. The girls that are on GWG, they all have a PlayStation 5, and they say it's collecting dust. You can't ignore that. They have it. They have them. There's nothing to play on there right now. They buy it for their flagship IPs, which probably ain't coming out for a long time. Where's Wolverine at? And I heard that might be a time exclusive. Where's Wolverine at? You know what I mean? There's nothing new to play. What, you gonna play Astrobot again? I mean, come on, man. You don't buy a $700 system just to play a little kiddie game Astrobot that's a copycat of Mario Brothers. Let's just keep it a buck. Because they copycat everything. You know what I mean? They do. And it's not better than Mario Brothers. Y'all guys are crazy if you think that game's better than Mario Brothers. It is not. Mario is iconic. He is iconic. He's an icon in gaming history. Little Astrobot robot ain't. He just isn't. I'm not saying it's not a cool game, like Hebot said, but he's not iconic like Mario. It's going to take him a long time to be that way. What? That's one game, Sickness. What? Lost Souls? That's one game. That doesn't validate, in my opinion, to buy a $700 console, brother. Come on, man. You got to do better than that. You got to sell to me. And you can't sell nothing to me. I'm not going to buy a console. I used to work for GameStop, my guy. I used to work for GameStop, dude. I know the ins and outs. I know what they were trying to sell more of and less of. I worked for GameStop. I know. You know? What you say? Was it Phantom Blade? All right, that still doesn't validate buying a PS5. It just doesn't. It's not enough. Not for $700. It's just not enough, man. 3 games, 4 games. It's not enough, Sickness.
Yo, Ty.
Yeah, it's not enough.
That's the Ghost of Tsushima sequel.
Are those games available now?
No, I think that Phantom Blade is out, I think. And Yotai isn't though.
Now those games he's naming, right? The Sickness is naming. Are those?
He's saying that's the reason to own a PlayStation is Lost Soul, Phantom Blade, and Yotai.
Is any of those games time exclusives?
I don't know.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Sickness. If any of those games that you're naming are timed exclusives.
I think Yotai might drop on PC.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It may not, but it could. That could drop on PC. That's Sony's in-house game there. That's a first
Is it
party.
Yotai?
Yeah, Yotai is, but I don't know nothing about Lost Soul, and I don't know anything about Phantom Blade.
Nobody.
I
Here's
think
the
she
thing.
got a big butt or something like that. It's something other than that.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
another thing, Dad.
think
I
that's-
like to see real big butts. I'm not going to buy
When
a
you go,
$700 system to look at fake butts. All right.
you
know
sure,
what I mean?
Sega Man? I don't know.
You know what I mean? I mean, hey, sick. Hey, man, if because they're what AAA blockbusters? AAA blockbusters don't mean anything anymore, sick. That doesn't mean nothing anymore, sick. You're talking about stuff they were trying to the damage control back in the day. AAA games, honestly, sick. Okay, if you're a true gamer, that doesn't matter to me. I can play AAA games and that's cool, but I can also play a AA game and I can play an indie game, and that indie game can be better than that AAA game you're playing. So that doesn't mean nothing to me.
Well, I guess he's saying for him, he gets it for the Asian games and the AAA games that he gets from Sony.
Yeah, and that's cool, but we get AAA games over here on Xbox. But we don't just play AAA games, is what I'm saying, bro.
GTA 6 is gonna be on Xbox too.
Yeah, so GTA 6 that's another game it's going to be on Xbox. So, if you like PlayStation, bro, that's fine.
Dude, man, you are so bad.
He said, "Big butt, Sir Mix-a-Lot."
Oh, jeez.
But like I'm saying, because I know we need to wrap it up, brother Sega Forever. But what I'm trying to say to you, sick, I'm not trying to just get on you, bro. But you got to understand something, man. I mean, I've been playing games for longer than you've been living, my G. I'm old enough to probably be your dad, so you can't tell me nothing, bro.
This is probably a baby. He's probably a baby.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me nothing, my G. I got game systems that were out probably before you were born. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying that you don't play games. If you like the PlayStation, bro, I appreciate you. You're a gamer. If you like the PlayStation, I appreciate you for that. That's good. But you can't tell me nothing, bro. I'm an OG out here. I own game systems, bro. Game systems. All right? I got game systems that are worth a lot of money, G. I'm highly invested in the ecosystem of video gaming. Trust me when I tell you that. I have 2 Sega Saturns. All right? They're very expensive. I have 2 Dreamcasts. They're very expensive. Games that cost more than a PS5. All right? I got a game downstairs that costs more than $700. So you can't tell me nothing, my guy.
Hey, Cygnus said, I mean, you can't downplay AAA games if that's the one carrying the industry like COD and GTA 6. Well, you know what? Pal World wasn't a AAA game and it did very well. So you just never know with games.
Right
You
there.
know, sometimes AAAs do really good and then sometimes they don't.
Also, the law of diminishing return, Cygnus. Right, a lot of times there's longevity. Back to Cygnus's point up here. Sony as a company is too small to be on the radar of regulators. It's Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Google on the pay attention list. That's true, Cygnus, but I'm also glad that they had, when Microsoft was trying to acquire AKB, they had a good judge because she cut through all that BS.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Because by the simple fact that she looked at Sony and say, okay, but you guys are doing it too. Or why don't you guys do this? Right. That's what evens it out.
Right. And you know what, Sega Forever? Obviously, let's just keep it a buck. We got to go. Obviously, Sickness, something's wrong with Sony because there's Sony guys coming out here saying they don't appreciate what Sony's doing right now. Okay, man? They are. I mean, if you guys want to ignore that that's happening, it is happening. There is Sony guys out here we never thought would ever come out and go against their company, but they're coming out now and they're saying stuff, dude.
You guys, I hate to break in, but I am going to have to go.
Okay.
Can I wrap up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Good. I'm done. I'm done there. Go ahead. I'm
Oh, okay. I
done.
didn't want to cut you off, but I can't. I have to go.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you want me to start?
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you guys, we can't read any more of the comments. We hope that we had a very good conversation with you guys today. There's nothing personal here. We're all gamers. We're all happy that you are here. No matter what you play on, just have fun. And you know, because like you said, a lot of people here, even in the Xbox community, have PlayStations. You know, so yeah, so I'm glad to have you here. I had a very good conversation today, and I hope that for 2025, it's going to be a great gaming year for everybody involved. I really do. And I see a good future for Nintendo with that. And congratulations to those of you who have Nintendos. I think the Switch is going to drop next year. Xbox has a good gameplay. I don't know what PlayStation is doing, and so maybe Cygnus can fill us in on that next time. I don't know what games they have coming out. I simply don't know. But I hope for everybody, at least I'll put it this way, you guys will get some of our games so you can at least play those too. So
yeah.
so yeah, so I just hope that this was for me, it was a good year. 2024 was a good year of gaming, and I'm looking forward to it for 2025. And I'm just glad to have spent my gaming time and our conversations with friends like Sega Forever and Sega Man and you guys in the chat. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Dan, man. I really appreciate you
Thanks,
coming
Dan.
on. Yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay. All right. You
Hope
guys.
to see you again, Dan.
Okay, you too. You take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, Sega Man, shout yourself out, and then we'll call it.
All right, man. Yo, before I shout myself out, Sickness, man, I'm not trying to pick on you, brother, but you know, we say how we feel on the Wrecking Crew podcast on any podcast. It's not just picking on you. Look, if you're a gamer and you like PlayStation, bro, let me just keep it a buck. If you like PlayStation, man, that's cool with me. If you're playing the games you're playing and you're enjoying them, Sickness, brother, that's cool. All right, but we're diehard Xbox fans, and that's just not going to change, bro. I'm not saying you're trying to change us, but Sega Forever lets everybody know every time that he does a podcast that he says, I bleed green. I will never own a PlayStation, and I'm an Xbox dude. And you're always going to get that from him every single time. You're going to get that from all of us. All right. We have a difference of opinion. All right. But, you know, if you're playing those games, Sickness, and you like those games and you play COD and GTA on your PlayStation 5 Pro, hey, man, knock yourself out. All right. But we're not going to change and turncoat because people are playing PlayStation 5s and things like that. It's just not going to happen. We're Xbox dudes, and we're going to stay that way. You know what I mean? On that note, Brother Sega Forever, it was a great little podcast you had, man. Shouts out to the chat and shouts out to Sickness. He's allowed his opinions. You know what I mean? So shouts out to Sickness. Shouts out to Toolman. Everybody that came and joined us today, 100. Everybody, man. It was a great show. I love when I could do this with my brother Sega Forever, man. I like the shows we do in the Wrecking Crew podcast when we get a chance to do it. And I'll be doing one soon, guys. I just been busy, and I'm sorry I haven't done I didn't do my holiday special one. I've been busy with family, and I had to take care of that first. But I am going to be doing a giveaway where I'm going to give away a Xbox gift card, probably like $15 or something like that. Something to maybe help you out with something you might want to buy. Or maybe you can find a few games on the sales where you can get a couple games or something like that, like some indie games or, you know, something like that. You know what I mean? But I will let you guys know later on when I'm going to exactly do that. And I hope you'll join us on the Xbox Power podcast. And maybe I'll have Hebot and E-Rock and the whole crew there, Dea. Maybe they can make it. Even Zink. Maybe Zink. You know, Zink's, you know, his schedule's pretty tight. And, of course,
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. And Brother Unlimited and Tuck. So it was a great show, Brother Sega Forever, man. Thank you, brother, for inviting me, man. And good night, guys, and have a happy New Year and a safe Happy New Year. If you're going to drink, please stay home. Don't drive. And have a Happy New Year, all you guys.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so really quickly, just address the chat real fast. Thanks, Toolman, Mr. Kima. David Stelmach, man, thanks for being here, brother. Really appreciate it. Yeah, some really great commentary. Zink, of course, Shinzo Elite. Hold on, guys. My internet's acting up. I don't want to miss anybody, but Toolman, yeah, shout out to you. I know we shouted some of you guys out too. But, man, we had a lot of people in the chat, brother.
You did good, man.
Yeah,
that's good. Cool. Brother Sega Forever, that's good.
Cygnus, man, I appreciate you being here. Judah Gaming. And yeah, I think he had one of the biggest questions of the podcast.
Well, you know what? I'm keeping a buck. I like when he does that. Okay, when he comes in and talks, that's good that Sickness does that, and I don't have a problem with him. I don't. It's good that he does that sometimes because it keeps the show going, and we could talk more about and answer what he brings up, in the comment sections, because you always answer Sickness pretty good, brother Sega Forever. You always tell him, oh well, this is why, this, that, with Microsoft or Xbox. You know what I mean? So, I think we kind of do need that, sometimes, and they're not trolling, because it doesn't seem like he's like one of them people that just come in here and, you know what I mean, act a fool and, and stuff like that. He seems more legit with his questions sometimes, man.
This has always been kind of that way too. So it's cool. I mean, like anybody can come in here. I'm fine with that. Shout out to Prime, NWO Prime stopped in.
Was NWO Prime in here?
Yeah, he was in here.
Ah, man, I missed it.
Yeah, quick shout out to him. Yeah, it's saying that Pepe Le Pew, man. Hey, dude, buy whatever you want, dude. It's your money.
Yeah, yeah. Like the dude is it Pepe Le Pew that said I'm gonna get the Switch 2, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get the Switch 2 because I know he likes Switch, but he said I got PS5 Pro because I didn't have PS5 at all.
That's all right. That's cool. I got a Pepe Le Pew. I got a Switch. I got a Switch, brother. I have a Switch. I have a Nintendo Switch. My wife bought it for me for anniversary present, bro. I have a Switch. It's all right. It's a really good on the go system. It really is, Sega Forever. It's a really good on the go like system. It really is. If you're on the bus or you're riding somebody's car and you're going like a long trip, half-hour trip, you can pull out your Switch and play your Switch or whatever in the car. Hey, I mean, it's a nice handheld system, man. Even when you dock it, it's cool. It has 1080p on the screen. Doesn't look bad. It's a nice little. It's better than going out and buying a Steam Deck if you can't afford a Steam Deck. The one you're going to be able to afford is probably going to be the Switch, more than a Steam Deck or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have a Switch. Now my daughter has a Switch now, so she still plays it.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, mostly for Pokemon. But...
She have the one with the OLED screen?
No, not that one. We have the older one.
You know what I heard, Sega Forever, bro? I heard I have a friend that had both, and he said he didn't see really much of a difference with the screens. He told me, he's like, Sega man, I don't really see I might see a little bit of a difference, but he said the darkers pop more. But he said there's not really that big of a difference between a regular Switch and the OLED Switch. He said he don't really see that much of a difference with it, man. He said, to be honest. I'm like, oh, okay. I
think it's kind of was a prototype for the new one.
Yeah. You mean the Switch 2? Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Switch 2 will probably be way better.
Well, you know what I'm hearing now? There are rumors going around saying that you wouldn't be able to play your old Switch games in the new one, the Switch 2, but I heard they might be changing that up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because they don't want to lose no fan base. Now, if you could play your old Switch games in there, that's the best thing for them to do, Sega Forever. If they decide to make new cartridges, Sega Forever, and you can't play your backward, you've been back and pat in that, there's going to be a lot of Switch people that are very pissed, because I know 2 girls that are religiously die-hard Switch fans, 2 of them, and they told me if they come out with that and they can't play their old games in it, they said they will definitely not support it. They will not buy it. They said they'll stay on their old Switch.
I mean, I don't know, dude. They've been taking that for so long. I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they don't do backwards compatible.
No?
No, you know what I mean? I mean, they've been, look, Nintendo, that's just the way it's been with Nintendo.
Yeah.
For the longest time. And people didn't like it, but, I mean, everybody still buys the system and still buys the games. So, I mean, that's what I mean. I have to see it to believe it. I'd really have to see a pushback from them to think that it won't change.
You're right.
At the end of the day, a lot of normal people buy the Switch. So.
Yeah, and their first back and pat system was actually the GameCube, where you could play Game Boy Advance. You could play all the games that actually have that. The Game Boy player actually have that, where you can play all the Game Boy Advance games on a big screen. I have that Game Boy player. That thing's expensive right now, very expensive.
You have to attach that bad boy. I had it too.
Yeah, and that disc. The disc. You need the disc.
Yeah,
it's like an information disc, dude. That disc is $80 alone, with no case, no nothing. If you have, let's say you have the Game Boy Player, right, and you bought it at a thrift store, and it didn't have the disc with it. If you go online, on eBay or anything like that, I've seen them for over $100, just the disc, and because they know you need it to play, those Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Advance games.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a good job actually on that, Brother Sega Forever. They did. If you were to play it on a big screen, it's kind of cool looking, kind of. It depends on what game you have in there. It's kind of cool, and they did a good job on that.
The reason I got it is because the problem I have with the Game Boy Advance is over time, right, it's hard to look at a small screen. So the one thing I like about it, because Game Boy Advance had really good JRPGs.
Yeah.
Well, it was better for, like, Shining. What was it called? Shining Force something. Anyway, the games that had Golden Sun, stuff like that, right? And then playing it on the bigger screen seemed a little bit more easy on guys, especially for me. And now, dude, that's why I don't have a portable gaming system, because I have neck and back pain, so I can't be staring at.
I tried to acquire, because I'm a collector. I tried to acquire. I have 2 Game Gears. I have one Game Gear that actually has a new it has an LED, like a LED screen, like a new screen, like with new caps. They had to put out a girl that learned how to do that. She had a shop. This white chick. She had a shop. She was cool, very nerdy, and she always changed the capacitors in there. And she gave me a new screen, brighter screen, in one of my Game Gears. And man, that thing is phenomenal. And I was trying to get a Turbo Express, but those are expensive as hell.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 Atari Lynx. Remember Atari Lynx? I have 2 of those. The handheld Atari Lynx, I have 2 of them. I have the first model and the second model. I was trying to get a Turbo Express Sega Forever, but those are like $500 or even higher. For those. If you can find them, bro. Even if you can find them, and when you find them, Brother Sega Forever, they're expensive as hell. I'm not buying that. I'm not paying $500 for the Turbo Express. It's just no.
Sorry, dude. This dude is making so much noise.
Is that the guy out there cutting grass?
I don't know what he's doing, dude. He ain't cutting nothing, dude. He's just standing. Like, if you're cutting grass, you hear the grass getting cut. He's just like running the motor, I guess.
Oh yeah, I hear it. Is that like the lawnmower? Is that a lawnmower?
I don't know, dude. That's the neighborhood I live in, man. They do stuff for real. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up anyway.
Let's bother Sega Forever Day. I'm gonna just run the lawnmower and.
But there's no rhyme or reason to it, right? It's just like
Man, Sega Forever, they're everywhere like that, bro. Yep. It was nice.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
That's all right, man.
Stop. Okay.
Well, thanks, brother. Thanks for inviting me. I hope you have a happy new year, brother, and we'll talk again. We got 2025 to look forward to. 2024 was kind of. What's up, Tool Man? Thank you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
2024 was pretty scary, bro. We had a lot of people pass away in 2024. You know that, right? Tons of people.
Yeah, brother, we're getting older, man.
Yeah, man. Stars were passing away like crazy, bro. Crazy.
We grew up watching, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're getting up there, brother.
I know. He bought E-Rock. I think E-Rock is. No, I think Tuck is older than all of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Tuck's older than me and you and all of us. He-Bot's actually the baby. He's younger than us.
Yeah. I think he's like 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
He's 40. Yeah, he's 40 something. I know E-Rock is 50. Is it 53, 54? He's around there, I think, E-Rock. And then me and you, and then I think Tuck is like 55. I think Tuck's way old. He's way older than us. He's not in his 60s, but he's up there in the 50s.
He's like 56, 57.
Yeah. Yeah, he's older than us, man. He don't act like it, though. He don't act like it.
Yeah.
He acts like a 20-year-old.
I don't know, man. Some people be surprised at how old we are.
Yeah.
But I mean,
all right, brother.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is what it is. But this is why we know the things we do.
Yeah.
Right? Because I tell people all the time, I don't have to Google that stuff. I was there. And there's some good and bad to that, but it is what it is. But,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, we'll wrap it up, brother.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for being here, Sega Man.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
And thanks to Dave.
Happy New Year's to everybody, man.
Yep, Happy New Year's to you. And Xbox Online channel, we out.